What's that? LDOE. Got the book.
Don't call a lawyer. Use this free AI tool instead. That's how I walked away with $93,000.
Yo, yo. What the fuck is the audio? Alright, so we got the rushers. Those are the so those are the assholes. So what are we going to do? Landfill, no. We didn't finish the deliveries. Hard mode. Yeah, I think I want to go and melt those guys, so we're not going to do that. We'll go up and do that shit. I need to go find some wrenches, so we'll be up here. Too bad it's not this one and all the way across. So we have to temple on this. That's so awesome. Party all the time. These guys.
That was so nice the second ago. I don't think people appreciate how hard that is to do. Right ball to the body and immediately over the top of the chin. So quick, very precise, nice little pocket punch as well.
So let's go ahead and get our snow shirt on.
Oh, I'm good. I got this.
I recently purchased the most popular glucose meter online and decided to test it with you.
Let's keep them clean. It was just a timing thing. He went to kick, cop, advanced. Time it! Physics? Something like that. Scientific. Distance, motion, force. So aspects of physics now.
We never skipped a day in school. Under 2 minutes to go in round one with the physicist.
Onto our left at 16.
And Paul Felder, I'm Brendan Fitzgerald. Final event of 2024 on the UFC calendar. Megan will be part of our crew as well tonight, as is Dean Thomas. Some crazy knockouts here in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, there's some crazy speed on display right here. Oh, man, I mean, they're finding them all. It wouldn't surprise me if we see another knockout, surely, because there's big consequences from these shots. The speed of them at that
Insane. And then he immediately, as soon as Silva tries to grab a hold of him, even think about a takedown, he finds a way to disengage, get right back out in the ring. Now
there it is again.
Fucking got him in the dick.
Physics changed over.
Yeah, 85 minutes, so we're really good.
Oh, he kicked him right in the dick.
You're out, right? We're here, second time, okay? You're not gonna be throwing. You're not. Do it again. Do you understand? Right? Watch where you're kicking. Understood?
No point taken, at least for now.
Take your time. You ready? All right. That's it. Stay back. If you're clean.
Okay, so a stern warning from Peterson. Michael was just showing me the definition of
Physics is the scientific study of matter, its fundamental constituents, its motion and behavior through space and time. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Brendan.
how did we get here? We got here because of 2 cup shots. That's how we got here. Final minute of round one. Controlled by Cobb. Silva's had some moments.
He definitely has. Obviously, hasn't been able to take it down to the ground. I think he's got a big advantage there. Now comes a really strong hit. But the speed of the striking tonight is brilliant.
Alright, so I'm gonna grab a couple of hatchets.
The top 10 ranking at stake as we enter round 2. Is presented by Bud Light.
So you ready?
Round 2 between ranks and flyweights. Solid start from Manel Kopp. See if he can add to his 11 wins by knockout in his career. Silva hasn't been to a 3rd round since 2020.
He almost got kicked in the dick.
There, or if somebody can find the target in the next 5 minutes. Takes takedown attempts. Just shucks him off.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, he's got Silva kind of on the back foot now. The way he threw him off there for that takedown attempt, kind of establishing his dominance. Still anybody's fight, though.
Silva, long-time friend and training partner of Henry Cejudo during his championship run. Now he's shifted his life to here in Florida.
Oh, that's great. What a combination of art and style.
Oh!
Plays the mandatory and swings a light. He's on fire tonight. And he's landing 3 shots and then he's immediately out.
Yeah, check this out. We had 1,000 wood.
He's just in the front state right now. Now Cobb's having fun out there.
That's how you do that grind if you guys watching the shit. And you got kicked again in the dick?
Out of the way of these return shots from Silva. There's a right hand.
Yeah, he's just in the front state right now. Now Cobb's having fun out there.
Oh!
This looks like the worst one of all. That's not good for the
Kicking the dick over and over and over and over and over and over. Yeah.
Really dug in there. That was a teep right to the crown jewels.
To the crown jewels.
So we're not yet halfway through round 2. So the possible outcomes are.
Yeah, I gotta bring these for those. For
Action. Cop can't continue. He'll continue. It could be either a no contest or a DQ and a victory for Cop. Back on his feet though.
I don't think Manel Cop is the type of guy to not continue. He's back on his feet. That's a really positive sign. Still 4 minutes left, of course.
He's struggling.
Oh, he is. There we go. It's a shame. I don't believe he did that on purpose.
We'll go do that frozen ship and we'll come back into the final one with these.
Still feeling it in a bad way. Oh, he's back down. He's back to the
We got crossbows.
That's the thing we all know. These guys are all taking a hit there. Sometimes it just, it's that horrible feeling right in the pit of your stomach and it doesn't go away.
Yeah. Are you sure? Okay. Oh my God.
The only crypto I own. The only crypto I own is VeChain.
What do you see in Sonny? I like the way he thinks, and he and I are aligned on a lot of sustainable things that he's working on. I actually bought almost $1 million worth of VeChain. I'm in every way that you could possibly be in with Sonny and VeChain.
Limping to the center saying, bring it on.
Yeah, but he might be playing a little possum here and explode like crazy. And now comes a crafty dog.
That's a risky kick to come out and throw.
Oh, it is straight away. With an inside close.
Oh, where those pants go?
That wouldn't be my choice.
Yeah, you see, I told you, he's got it. Calls him on. On guard.
Hands behind his back. Playing a dangerous game, this cop.
It's kind of funny. Oh my God!
Silver versus Chris Whiteman.
Get too
Anderson was having a field day, pimping him, being silly, disrespecting him in that. Boom. One left up later, Chris Whiteman is the champion of the world. Safe 1-2 for Pat.
Unleashes a combination.
He's putting on a show. And right now, if you're Silva, it's like really intimidating. Because I see the guy mess around like this, landing jump, picking you apart. You're taking it really seriously and trying your best. He's just a little outmatched on the feet right now. Now we've seen Bruno Silva get stoppages later in the fight, so he's not out of this fight, far from it. Certainly. And now Cop seems to be in control.
He's got to have something to get the respect of El Cop because he's just playing around right now.
It's so fast. He's always on balance. He doesn't overextend himself. He doesn't get overexcited. He's in control of his feet and his momentum and movement. It's just a beautiful display of striking. I think he's going to consider a flying knee or something. Because he sees that Bruno's kind of walking him down and following him. That's a good knee. Essentially illegal, but...
Yeah, Bruno's got to go for it at this point.
It's just such a dangerous thing when you got Mel Cop in front of you with his speed, landing these combinations.
Exactly, because going for it, you know, potentially get you knocked out. And that's what Manel wants you to do. He wants you to be reckless. He wants you to swing the front horse into the ring. But at this point, that's all he's got. He's got to go for it.
Into the third and final next. December 20th. Manel Cop spent most of the break having a conversation with Dana White, calling for his title shot. And Dana said, you got one more round. Now he looks like his vision's getting close, and Silva's let him have it.
He just got cracked out. Silva's going for it.
That's what he's got to do. You know, he's got to get a little reckless. We give him a chance.
You got to be careful though. Look at those hooks from Bruno Silva.
After Cop just kept on explaining, nobody can beat me in this division. Count your eggs, count your chickens.
What's your finger? The fact he was talking to Dana between rounds just shows like the mastery, if you will, I mean, of the nerves and the mind games when it comes to the fight.
Let's see what we got for
He's not stressing out at all.
Armor increase. Yeah,
He's trying
baby.
to set up a title fight. He's just sitting there, just chilling, speaking to the boss man, not concerned with Bruno Silva. That sounds disrespectful for me to say, but it's just the way that he's handling this fight right now. Now he should be, because Bruno's
Big money, big money. Let's get a jackpot. And no guys will play it. Oh, that's right.
Picks him apart, goes to the body, comes upstairs with an uppercut.
Yeah, he's starting to feel it here.
Yeah. And so is Bruno.
Silva lands a left hook. You show you the striking attack. Up top and down low.
Oh, and a low shot to Cobb. This is it. Could be good. Is it a shot? Here's from Sunday Cole and up top. Trying to end it, and it does. Star boy. That's why he was thought of as a contender upon entry into the UFC. Right back to Tina to play for a title shot. Yeah, I mean, that was the kind of performance that will get you the title fight. From start to finish, very entertaining. He's demanding that title shot from Dana. And I think he might be in luck. I think he might be in luck because that deserved it. That was impressive. I mean, the showmanship, the finish, the athletic ability.
What I heard Cop say is, you are my neighbor. I think he wants a meeting back in Las Vegas.
I never asked
And
for
I don't think he's a literal neighbor, but
He's saying, I've never asked for anything.
Only Ali helped me on my time as in the US. He helped me a lot. No one else. I never asked for anything. I'm a man of my team. I work. You know, I do my stuff.
Hey, enjoy your moment. I'll come back in 5 minutes and we'll talk. Enjoy your moment. All right.
he was waiting for a contract to come out of his back pocket. Yeah, I know. Let's take a look at some of this work. Yeah, there's the shot. Controversial cup shot. It looks like it may be grazed, but also hit the body. So I can understand Keith Peterson maybe didn't see it. But ultimately, I mean, it was going one way in this fight the whole time. Manel Cop's speed, just too much. I don't know. It landed a lot of body as well. Yeah, sometimes the toes kind of hook up above the belt. But man, he just starts putting a barrage on him. The speed, the rhythm, just how fluid he was out there tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Keith Peterson is calling stop to this contest at 1 minute, 57 seconds of the third round. Declaring the winner by TKO Manel, the
That's a crazy fight. I can't finish it all. No.
Shut up! Even change color.
They're about to find Waldo.
He just fucking got sprayed.
We're back with more libtards and protesters learning and finding out. Mexican, jumping the fence and running away, running away.
Running away.
Without my car, illegally. ICE agents laugh after nearly running over and facing locals in Minneapolis. The most wonderful time of the year. The parts are falling when ice comes a calling. It's all in good cheer. This is why you don't start a snowball fight with ICE agents. ICE finally clowns on these idiots who keep blowing whistles to warn illegals.
Have any idea how racist it is to blow the whistle at workers that are probably legal? You're just alerting them that ICE is here, and they're probably legal. That's very racist.
They're doing yard work and they're brown. They must be illegal, right? Pretty said he's not playing with y'all anymore. Really? Damn, let him steal from the store, homie. Let's see if this strong, independent, liberal white woman now run these Nashville cops in flip-flops.
Right now, you can save £50 on taxes. That's £200 off.
Didn't get far. Liking the video so far? Subscribe for more. ICE hit a woman who was trying to prevent the kidnapping. You can always tell when it's a liberal who posted the video when they call it a kidnapping and not a deportation. You have to blur this for YouTube. Heels up in the air like Dorothy going home from Oz. This genius is in the U.S. illegally and decided to go protest in front of the ICE facility, post about it all across social media.
Fucking dog.
A few moments later. Ladies and gentlemen, that was posted by the official U.S. Border Patrol Facebook page. Know your surroundings at all times. Just snatched him off the dirt bike.
Damn, no. I don't know why I found this so funny, but the man's like the equivalent of teacher grabbing me and dragging me to the principal's office.
This person didn't even get a hit. They climbed up on the hood of the police cruiser. They did this to themselves. So you took a liberal to the gun range. YouTube, please do not demonetize this video. This is incorrect firearms handling. We're showing you what not to do. Do not take a liberal to a gun range.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Here you go. Slow squeeze. Nice and easy. Alright.
Woo!
A woman tries to attack a black conservative man because we all know there's nothing more racist than a white liberal woman who was a black conservative. She says she'll fight you because she's never been checked before.
She said black first.
She did say black first.
If she doesn't know, she's ever. Obviously, she doesn't know how to fight. Look at her hand. The ancient technique of the wobbly wrist. Give them the old wobble gobble. Keep a stop and harass a lady driving home in Portland. This lady's trying to get through the streets. I'll let her. The second you touch my window with a stick, I'm either flooring it or pulling that thing out and pouring it. By pouring it, I mean bullets into you. Are you going to arrest her for driving on the road that you're standing on? Watch this man bun get tasered. That's a police truck. Real smart, buddy. I'd have tased him while I was on top of the truck. Went down like a sack of potatoes.
Felt like a sack of shit.
I think he gets it. Do you think he gets it? Okay, this one's wild. They're claiming that this guy is blind and he was pushed to the ground by these mean ICE officers. How did he know to stand exactly in that spot in front of the line? Someone just put him there and just leave him there to get shoved back? I mean, your friends are a-holes, man. All right, he's right here at the high-vis vest. It looks like he just fell down. They're helping him back up.
That was good. Maybe you get a little slower, a little scarier.
He's disabled, physically and mentally. You don't think he knows to move? He said all of America wants you dead. He's not letting disability get in the way of hate. No, that's not a real friend right there. He's helping Danny DeVito here go and stand his ground.
Get ready to relax with stress-free banking at Credit Karma.
Feel the tension melt away with a checking account that's 100% freed up and experience the pure euphoria that only a high-yield savings account can deliver.
Start your financial self-care routine with Intuit Credit Karma today.
This holiday season, we'd like to remind you that the best gifts are things that people give them together.
Here, buddy, stand right here to take a pepper ball to the face. Yeah, you're in the perfect spot to take a riot shield right to the dome. Let me know if this should be a new series, but let's see how police do policing in other countries. Yeah, and they say we have police brutality. Just doing a drive-by on him, man. Just a beat by. Just everybody gets a lick in.
Everybody beats his ass. And the cops fucking go and take it and arrest him now.
They were just softening him up for the other officers coming in from behind. Do you think he's gonna resist after getting smacked by 30 cops running by him? Videos show federal officers use of force at Portland ICE building. Well, yeah, if you don't use force, how else are you gonna get these idiots off the street? Anti-ICE protesters in Manhattan. Drop a comment
comment down below. Do you think this is a dude or a chick? I think we know the answer. You know, we've done 4 or 5 of these videos, so protesters versus vehicles. A protester has never won. But I couldn't stop this moving vehicle. Was it Tahoe? Suburban? Oh, 2, that'll stop them. Now they've got the power of atheism on their side. I thought they'd be saying, I'm walking here, I'm deporting here, I'm deporting here. Oh no, not shrubbery. What are we gonna do? Dispatch, we've got bushes in the road. We're gonna need to cancel this deportation operation. This one happened a little while ago. I think this is Can't Hit Me, but it's a great one. Well deserved.
Because you're evil and you will get what you deserve.
No, Letitia, it's because you did this that they maced you.
Stop. No!
Well, you got freeze frame it. Delicious. Do cops do better in other countries?
Oh my god.
Like a piece of firewood.
Yep.
I wish I was making this up, but this is a gym for Allah. Burqa is required in Dearborn, Michigan. Allahu Akbar, Allah. I mean, you can still see that cheeks through that burqa though. They have to be the masters of moisture wicking material. Can you imagine hitting the treadmill, covered head to toe? Obnoxious liberal journalists put down gently with one of the drug codes that Trump blew to hell.
Well, let us go right now. Is he a U.S. citizen? I don't answer any questions without my attorney. Is that your brother in the car? I don't answer any questions without an attorney. Listen, if you tell me he's a U.S. citizen, I will let him go. I don't answer any questions.
Guess he's going to jail. Wait. Did Andrew Dane in a Cybertruck?
Just like I told him, I don't answer any questions without my attorney. I don't answer any questions. Hey.
Guess you don't like your hermano, man. Send him to jail.
Is your brother born in the U.S., yes or no?
Yeah.
He was born in the U.S.?
Yeah.
There's no record filed. Okay, so I'm missing my bill penalty. Put your hand on your back. Hold on. Put your hand on.
Foreign trucker flips semi-truck on side and expects to just drive away.
You got a big diesel spill on the windshield crack that you broke in here. It's not drivable. Yeah. I can't understand the guy. I think he thinks he can just drive it away. You can't disconnect it yet. You're not going to drive this.
Don't drive us the trucky.
Really hate that I have to make this video right now, but we apologize to anyone who is our Black Friday offer because yes, it's true, our coffee is the lowest price in the and yes, it's true, you'll get our VIP starter ticket and have premium electric strawberry for completely free. And yes, it's also true, you'll get our brand new Aloha ice cream for completely free. It's also true that anyone who grabs our Black Friday offer will be automatically entered into our tax price. But we didn't realize we could make the Black Friday offer even better. And it turns out that was the lie. So not only are you getting this entire bundle and the chance to win some cash, but you're also getting an additional free coffee. People were already calling us insane for making this deal so good that we're losing money on every single one. So we decided to double down. So with this Black Friday bundle, you're getting $179 worth of product for just $25. We might actually run out before the end of the week. If you're in this video right now, that
Wishing you a very happy half-off holiday because right now, Mint Mobile. Ooh. Street sign in Dearborn, Michigan. Osama Sitlami. Yep, she gets cooked, everybody. Cooked and smells like curry. I was driving to a comedy show with my comedian buddy, K-Bon. He said, I want to test out this joke where you're driving behind a semi-truck and you smell curry. That's your sign to pass around that better hurry. Now, is this removal technique too aggressive? The look on your face when the short bus forgot to pick you up for school. Anti-ICE rioter gets around and finds out by throwing her drink at a police officer. I'm a big boy to move. Oh, come on, cameraman. Salt battery. No, I don't want to find out. German police battle a leftist mob trying to stop a right-wing youth conference. It's like Plants vs. Zombies. Bro just flopped harder than LeBron. Are you kidding me? Oh! Even had his hand over his face and everything. Oh! Germany broke out the water cannons for protesters on the highway. First shower they've had in weeks.
What's going on? Why is he walking around with a fucking gun here?
It's not even a mag in it. Relax. Although, you know, if you're gonna open carry like this, I would swing it on the front of you. Dude kicks cop in the nuts, then gets KO'd by that cop.
Oh.
You know what they say? You mess with the balls, you get punched in the throat. They don't say that, but that's what this cop said. Just in case you want to see the mugshot of this sweet young lady threw the drink at the police officer. Nate Friedman exposes a Trump Tower paid protester leader. Karen! This is the infamous Karen Shaw, or the Karen Kazoo lady, and we meet again. After I exposed her for being a professional protester at the first No Kings protest, she rushed to private her Instagram. And here's just a really quick recap of what happened. Who are you with?
I'm with America.
Well, no, but you asked me who am I with, so I'm asking you who are you with?
Well, you're acting like a reporter with a...
I am a reporter.
Okay.
You want to see my press credentials? Hey, here's my press credentials.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so who are you with?
Right now I'm representing myself, and I'm representing the folks at Rise and Resist who have been trained.
Rise and Resist. Now here's some more about Karen. I did find her Instagram where she just documents herself vandalizing New York City. She puts these chalk signs all over the place, like this one right outside the Trump Hotel. She also likes to flip off Cybertrucks and just post that on Instagram as well. If you just scroll through her profile on Instagram, it is the best case study for reopening the asylums that you could possibly make. Now, Karen is the Associate Director of Development and Special Events. The job of these professional protesters is to incite violence, but to do so in a way that doesn't clearly come back to them as an individual. Here she writes in her chalk that ICE is America's Gestapo. It is this rhetoric that is putting ICE in danger, and it is this rhetoric that killed my friend Charlie Kirk. She even goes as far to call the Republican Party the Republican Party, again calling half of America rapists.
We need more people like me out on the streets that can put this all together. Because I'm sure if you dig deep enough, you're going to find the same people at all these big rallies, all being paid, all part of the same organizations, traveling around. But not right now. It's getting too cold. They're starting to hole themselves up for the winter. And you know how the left loves their holes. That's all they ever talk about. What hole they prefer. It's their entire identity. What F around and find out moment was your favorite? Drop a comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Cameron Vance. I'll catch you in the next video.
Can I say Carlos Sainz's full name before I make a trade on Kraken? That's fine then. Fine. 50. Easy. Please calm me, 50. Carlos Sainz va a Castros en amor Rincón de Bollo, Beto Moreno de Aranda, Don Patria Lagoria.
Kirk has finally come out and directly addressed Candace Owens, giving her one word: stop. Now, Candace Owens had said for some time now that there's only two people who could stop her, and it's her husband and Erica Kirk, and now that Erica Kirk has formally requested that she stop, Candace Owens has, of course, responded as everyone predicted by saying, no. She says, stop what? Stop lying? What I lie about? So Candace is doubling down, and she's going to continue her antics, heavily criticizing Allie Beth Stuckey by calling her Jewish, which is not surprising, I guess. Now, this may be just a bit more drama, but it does connect to the bigger picture, and that is the Tyler Robinson hearing today. And we learned a bit. There's a big discussion about whether or not they're going to allow cameras in the courtroom. It looks like the answer will be yes. So this is all tied together. The question being, who killed Charlie Kirk, and is this trial going to prove it? And that's going to be, I think it's going to take a long time to figure out. All of these cases are taking forever. So we'll talk about that. Plus, apparently NATO is suggesting that World War III is coming, and I kind of roll my eyes. And I know a lot of people are saying, Tim, talk about the war, talk about the Venezuela stuff. And I'm like, guys, they keep screaming this in our faces. So, of course, we will talk about it, but we'll get there. And then we've got big midterm talk, because Indiana didn't want to redistrict. The Republicans were like, no, we won't do that. So, of course, there are questions about the midterms, and I, for one, want to win, because I don't want to go back to an era where we had lockdowns and people were forced to get medicated and things like that, and they were censoring us, so I think it's pretty dang important we actually win this one. Before we get started, my friends, we've got a great sponsor for you. It is Crowd Health. Head over to joincrowdhealth.com, my friends. Use promo code TIM. It's open enrollment. This is where health insurance companies hope you'll blindly sign up again for overpriced premiums and confusing fine print. Don't just take someone else's word for it. Trust yourself and take control of your future with Crowd Health, the healthcare alternative for people who make their own decisions. It's healthcare for under $100. You get access to a team of health bill negotiators, low-cost prescription and lab testing tools, as well as a database of low-cost, high-quality doctors vetted by Crowd Health. And what if something major happens? You pay the first $500 and the crowd steps in to help fund the rest. It feels like the options we used to have before Obamacare messed everything up. And of course, you'll join the crowd, a group of members just like you who want to help pay for each other's unexpected medical events. The system is betting you'll stay stuck in the same overpriced, overcomplicated mess. And this year, it's even more common. Members have saved over $40 million in healthcare expenses because they refuse to overpay for healthcare. This open enrollment, take your power back. Go to joincrowdhealth.com. Use promo code TIM. It's today for $99 for your first 3 months. Now, Crowd Health is not insurance. Opt out. Take your power back. It's how we win. Joincrowdhealth.com. Shout out. Thanks for sponsoring the show. And don't forget, head over to castbrew.com. We got a new blend for all of you. A new flavored, delicious coffee. It is the Rum Runners Roast. Highlander Grog flavored coffee. It's bold, It's a buttery blend inspired by the Appalachian Moonshiners. Rum Runner's roast brings smooth caramel, warm vanilla, and a hint of spiced rum aroma for a rich, rebel-hearted cup. No alcohol, just legendary flavor. And we also got a bunch of other stuff, of course. We are sold out of pool water. Don't worry, we'll be restocking in the next few months. We've also got everyone's favorite Appalachian Nights, Ian's Graphene Dream. My friends, there are so many different choices here at Cask Brew Coffee. You got Phil's 2 weeks till Christmas, and the funny thing is, it's literally now 2 weeks till Christmas. Boom, we're back, baby! We went all the way around the year, and we are back. So check out caskbrew.com. Don't forget though, my friends, smash that like button. Share the show with everyone you know. Joining us tonight to talk about this and so much more, we have Tina from Moms for Liberty.
So great to be here with you in the dead of winter in West Virginia.
Indeed, I love it. So, Gordon, what do you do?
I am the CEO and co-founder of Moms for Liberty. We're a national nonprofit organization fighting for parental rights, better education in America, standing up for kids, getting the big government out of our families.
Right on. Well, thanks for hanging out. It should be fun. We've got Libby hanging out.
I'm here. I'm hanging out. Really glad to be here with you guys. I'm Libby Emmons from the Post Millennial and Human Events.
Guys, what is going on? It is Brett, Pop Culture Crisis, Brett Cooper. I was going to start with what's up, y'all, and do this, but I did not. Pop Culture Crisis is about to hit 384,000 subscribers. You should go over there and check out the channel.
Hello, everybody. I am Dr. Philip Labonte from All That Remains. I'm an anti-communist and counter-revolutionary. Let's get into it.
So, for those that have no idea why that just happened, Jake came to me this morning and he said, Grok's just straight up lying about the Timcast crew. It's the weirdest thing ever. And so I pulled up Grok and I said, who are the staff at Timcast IRL? And it said Tim Pool, Phil McGraw, Brett Cooper, and Ian Crossland. And we started laughing, and I was like, Phil McGraw. I was like, Dr. Phil and Brett Cooper. And so I asked it about Brett Cooper, and it gave me this really long-winded, it kept going, talking about how Brett Cooper worked for Timcast on Pop Culture Crisis before going solo. And it made everything up. It said that she moved from Maryland to Tennessee. And you know what I realized? It's not lying. It's in another dimension. It's an alternate reality. So it's getting everything right. It's just too good of AI.
Hallucinations are back, baby.
That's right.
See, if I'm not mad. I'm not famous. Phil should be mad. Phil's famous, and they're mixing love with another famous person.
Right? Everything's all like water off a duck's back.
All the chat GPTs and everything still called Trump, former President Trump. I mean, the amount of lies in these machines is a precursor for the end of information storage in humanity.
How fun. All right, let's jump into the first story we got for you guys. Now, we have the story from CBS News. Erica Kirk has one word for Candace Owens, who's been peddling conspiracy theories about Charlie Kirk. And admittedly, it's all a bit of heavy drama. But I actually think this does matter for a variety of reasons, and I think this is actually a big piece of the story today, which was Tyler Robinson had his first in-person hearing, and we're learning a lot about what's going on. Now, however, there are way too many people that live in Wally World believing the most insane things because of Candace Owens. Now, I'm not going to sit here and claim the feds are telling you the truth or the FBI is right about everything, and by all means, you're allowed to believe it's cover-up, but I can certainly tell you that 68 Egyptian planes flying around on Utah time or whatever it is, you know, the argument that she's making, she claimed that E4s and E5s were lieutenant colonels. Did you see this going viral recently? It is the epitome of unvetted absurdity.
Gotta salute the E4 Mafia now.
Yeah, that's right. She's saying that the U.S. military is involved and Bridget McCrone's a man, and all of these things, it's all tied together. And it is crack pottery, but there are many people who are falling for this. Now, I want to get to the bottom of who killed Charlie Kirk. And it may or may not be Tyler Robinson. I think the evidence suggests it is, because it's silly to think that the feds were going to plot out this cover-up and then do it as miserably as is being suggested. It may actually just be that the shooter plotted things out miserably as has been suggested. But Erica Kirk has finally come out, and we have a story from CBS News. Erica Kirk has one word for Candace Owens, who has been peddling conspiracy theories about her late husband. She said, stop. The town hall set to air Saturday at 8 p.m. CBS News editor-in-chief Barry Weiss asked Charlie Kirk's widow what she wants to say to Owens and others who are making unfounded claims about his assassination. Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop. Owens used to work for TPUSA, the conservative youth organization. This we all know. We understand. Now, we have a response. Candace Owens has basically said no. They go on to say that Erica Kirk talks more about her husband, so it's going to be airing later. Candace Owens is saying, her direct response was that Erica Kirk said stop lying. That was the question. And so Candace says, be more specific. What am I lying about? And it's funny because she pledged before that she would stop if Erica Kirk asked. So this is a grift. She's just peddling this for attention, and it's nonsense. And I do fear, again, to all those, I know a lot of people out there saying this is stupid drama, who cares? What I care about is a tainted jury pool. And when they actually start to bring jurors in, and they are asked, do you think Tyler Robinson, like, have you heard anything about Tyler Robinson? Yes, I have. What have you heard? I heard that he's innocent. Candace Owens says it was the military that did it. That's going to taint the jury pool. And I almost wonder if she's doing it on purpose.
You know, there's a lot of people out there that say things like, oh, you know, it's okay for people to ask questions and stuff. And fair enough, it is okay for people to ask questions. But Candace isn't just asking questions. She's implying things, first of all. She's bringing up the FBI, and this is a Utah case. Really, this isn't, as far as I know, this is not a federal case. This is being tried in Utah.
Yeah, it's Utah prosecutors.
Yeah, so it'd be the state police and the state DA that are actually handling it. The FBI was there to support, but the FBI isn't actually doing the case. There's just so many holes in everything that she says, and it's totally ridiculous.
Let me play this clip. You can hear what she said.
I already had this business. I was already on top of the charts. Okay, I said I wasn't going to talk about it. I actually did, because it's so ridiculous. Okay? But she says, I'm lying. And Eric responds, and her answer to what do you want to say to the podcaster Candace Owens, who is lying, is stop. So Erica would like me to stop lying. And I would like to honor that. Okay? I can only honor that if Erica is more explicit in terms of what I have lied about.
Shocker.
What's I lied about?
Well, we can start with that when she said, quote, the shooting that Tim survived was committed by his brother. We can start there. You lied about that. Now, fine. That's not about Charlie. That's about me. But you're a liar who makes things up all the time. How about when you claimed that, I don't know, the easiest one most recently was that E4s and E5s were lieutenant colonels. They're not. I think it's 06. I'm not, but is it 06?
I think an 04 is a major, 05 would be lieutenant colonel, I think.
05?
Yeah.
See, I don't actually know, but I certainly know the difference between E and O, enlisted and officers, and she doesn't. She has lied quite a great deal. And here's the thing. The game she's playing is, I'll start here. I have seen text messages. There are several conservatives who said Candace Owens was going around in the few months before Charlie was assassinated saying she hated Charlie Kirk. That is true. That is true. I have seen the texts. Now, the issue is, did she actually say it? Well, these people are going around behind the scenes being like, this is what Candace Owens told me. Candace is playing this game where she's saying, I got a tip from the military, this is proof. Well, clearly she didn't, because this guy didn't know what an officer was. Is it true that Candace got an email? Probably. And then she takes that email without vetting it, without fact-checking it, and reports whatever it is as truth. That says, I didn't lie.
Nice. We got 4 components off of a
playing.
20 stack of them.
It's the same, like I said, she's just making these implications. She just pulls any kind of garbage out of her whatever, so that way she can, continue the grift, because she doesn't answer questions. She's always got people hanging on the ledge. People can infer their own ideas from the things that she says, and people eat it up because it's just gossipy, a true crime crap.
You think this will have strong implications on the trial?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think that there was a hearing today. It was the first time that Robinson was in court, and it was really interesting to watch. There was a lot of legal jargon, and I was with my team, and we were like, okay, what does that mean? What does this mean? And we were trying to figure it out. But one thing that was really important to both the defense and the prosecution, and so you have the defense, the prosecution, and then you have 2 lawyers in there that are represented media, right? 2 different groups of media that are in there saying, like, we need access. This is a 1A situation. And so they're all negotiating different things, dates and, what's permissible and media access and all of these things. And one of the things that was true for all 3 of those groups of attorneys was that they were all saying that the trial needed to be very clearly transparent and fair. That was the key thing. And pretty much everything they were arguing about was how to ensure that the trial was as just and fair as possible, and that's their biggest concern with having media in there, with
all of this talk that they had about what's classified as a witness.
But the question is, are the manipulations and lies from Candace Owens going to affect the outcome later on?
I think anything that jurors hear ahead of time is going to impact it. We see that with past trials as well. Like if there's the more publicity, I mean, I think that we can be worried about the Luigi Mangione case as well, because you have all these people out there just being super supportive of the alleged killer, as opposed to looking for justice. They're looking for all of these reasons why he's not the guy.
Reminds me of during the Derek Chauvin trial, when they wanted to change a venue and they didn't get it.
Yeah, they didn't get it. And then you also had jurors after the fact saying that they didn't necessarily believe that Chauvin killed him, but they thought that he wasn't like compassionate enough for it. You have had cops come out after that saying the knee hold or whatever it is was standard police procedure, and Chauvin followed it. And the cops have come out and been like, so police brass essentially lied when they said that he wasn't supposed to do that. That was part of our training. And there was a lot of stuff in the Chauvin case where ahead of time, you even, I think, had you even had like the governor being like, this guy has to be convicted. You had a lot of people being like, this guy has to be convicted. Even Joe Biden, I think, at the time, was demanding that Chauvin be convicted before he'd seen the evidence, and it was all just prejudicial.
And then the judge said that it was impossible to have a fair trial, but they wouldn't move. And I think that's grounds for total dismissal. Instead, they had a biased jury.
Touchdown on savings at George Kia Spokane. We are clearing up all new 2025 Kias at huge discounts to make room for the new 2026 Kias on the way. Shop over 350 new.
Surrounded by men with guns as rioters burnt down the city, and they were supposed to give an honest assessment of what actually happened. Yeah. What I absolutely love about the Chauvin trial was when the police testified, it was actually the defense that brought this up, the continuum on the use of force. They said that Chauvin was actually entitled, based on the resisting of arrest from Floyd, to use a taser to escalate from a physical restraint to an impact weapon, and chose not to, which clearly shows that he limited the use of force against George Floyd.
Would that have been because he was saying he was having trouble breathing and the use of a taser would be...
No. He could have tasered.
I'm saying, is that why he probably chose not to, rather than...
No, because he should have. George Floyd was physically resisting arrest. When Chauvin arrived, this is a guy who fought his way out of a vehicle. And according to police training, he could have drawn his taser and shocked him.
Oh, and instead, he had problems breathing after he was already in the car.
Right. And then he fought his way out. And Chauvin opted for a leg on the neck restraint, on the neck/back. It's and they still said he was guilty. It's because if you're in the jury and you walk into the building surrounded by a bunch of guys with guns as people are burning the city down, and what was it? What case was it where the pig's head was sent to the person's house?
I forgot about that one.
I don't know if that was Chauvin.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Or like Rittenhouse or something, but yeah, the jury gets the message. And the judge was told they need to move venues, and he says there's nowhere in the state where you'll get a fair trial.
The media is poisoning the well on Mangione too. Remember, I just literally was thinking about this the other day about there was an article in TMZ that just called him the killer rather than putting the ledge in front of it, which they should be doing until he's prosecuted anyways.
Yeah. So now you have like the story that I told where I met 3 young men who said, what do you think?
Yeah, it was an expert witness in the Chauvin trial.
Yeah, you had a pig.
Pig said.
Pig said.
Yeah.
At his home. Right. That's loud and clear. And then I met these 3 young guys, they're Gen Z, and they believe everything Candace said. They were like, Israel killed Charlie Kirk. And they were like, that's what they said they believe Candace. And this is the narrative that she has created. So her show getting as much viewership as it does, these people are going to be called to testify, or they're going to be called to the jury. And they're going to have a very difficult time finding an untainted jury pool because they're going to be like, I heard it was Israel. What about the Bush? And they're going to be like, there's no Bush. Like, what about that secret underground hatch? And they're like, you're talking about a control panel. And they're going to be like, but what about the Egyptian airplanes? And they go, they're not real. Okay, this jury's out. This juror is out. And it's going to be a ton of them. And then the worst thing, some of them will just lie. Because their attitude is going to be, I have to take this into my own hands to expose them. And Candace Owens already said she thought that Tyler Robinson was innocent. So here we go.
Do you really think that, I feel like a lot of this is on X and in Candace world, average people on the street, it hasn't made it to the level of riots in the street. When you're comparing the cases, the George Floyd case, it was present in the streets everywhere, riots, it was all over every news channel. I feel like some of this is in podcast X world, and maybe average Americans that might be called for the jury pool actually haven't heard about any of this.
I think if you're outside of Utah, that might be the case, but I think that in Utah, which is obviously the jurisdiction, I think that people are probably acutely aware of it, and I imagine they're more, they're more receptive to the media that's going on. Not saying that you're wrong, but I think you're right in other places as it gets further away.
Dude,
but
fucking YouTube, dude.
Utah's not the most populous state, specifically in Salt Lake area. I mean, it's a fairly small community, and I think that people are proud. What? Utah County?
When I finish.
I think, like I said, I think you're right nationally, but I imagine in Utah, where they need to find a jury, it's probably a little more acute.
I think it's going to be saturated in Utah because these are people who are searching for it. So who has done a show consistently talking about this more than anybody else can? And so I imagine the people in these communities are going to be going online and looking more into it because they're being affected by it, and they're going to find the one show that keeps doing it. But more importantly, part of the breaking point for me was when I bumped into 3 random Gen Z guys, and they were like, Candace says Israel's trying to kill her, and they killed Charlie Kirk. And I have to be like, let me ask you a bunch of questions. And then it turns out they believe a bunch of deranged nonsense. So yeah, it's absolutely reaching normies. These are not kids who watch the news. These were young guys just out on a Friday night. That's how widespread her stuff has become, and she brags about it. Let's jump to the story from Newsweek. This is the major breaking news. Charlie Kirk's accused killer, Tyler Robinson, smiles in first court appearance. They say Tyler Robinson, who previously appeared only by audio and video feed from jail, entered the courtroom wearing a dress shirt, tie, and slacks with restraints on his wrists and ankles. The AP reported that he smiled towards family members seated in the front row. His mother wiped away tears as his father and brother sat beside her. Closed-circuit video from the courtroom also shows Robinson smiling and laughing while commenting to one of his attorneys. The state judge is weighing the public's right to transparency against concerns from Robinson's defense team that intense media scrutiny could jeopardize his ability to receive a fair trial. I think that's a silly prospect. I also think there's something particularly telling in all of this. Why hasn't his parents come out and claimed he was innocent? Has that happened?
No, they have not. They haven't said anything, and they have been speaking with him virtually, and they haven't said anything publicly. I think they might be under a gag order, but even so, if it were my son and he was innocent and I was under a gag order, I would go to prison screaming for his innocence.
Didn't his father turn him in?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. So the day after Charlie was killed, the FBI released the surveillance video. There was some internal discussion in Utah as to whether that video should be released. And in fact, his mother and father were able to recognize him from the video. And the sheriff in, George County? Is that what it is? Where Robinson is from, gave a whole press conference about exactly what went down. And so the parents had recognized him. They called him. They tried to get in touch with him. They said, why don't you come home and we'll talk about it. He didn't live with them, but, come back to the childhood home. They talked about it. They ended up contacting a friend of theirs who was in law enforcement. This is all from the sheriff's press conference. They ended up contacting a family friend who was in law enforcement who helped them facilitate turning him in and the conditions by which he would go turn himself in. And among those conditions were that his parents could stay with him the whole time until the police in the jurisdiction were able to come get him. So he sat with his parents for 3 hours in that sheriff's office, and the sheriff didn't question him, didn't do anything. They were just waiting for the jurisdiction police to come down and pick him up, which they did. But yeah, the sheriff was very clear exactly what went on. And in fact, in that press conference, part of why he was giving that press conference,
he doesn't even understand what a federal fucking agent is.
Former deputies or something who had the same name as the law enforcement friend of the family was not the guy. He was like, stop harassing this guy. This was not the guy. And yeah, that's what happened. And since then, his parents have been silent. They've been communicating with him virtually, and today it was reported that they were actually, his parents plus another relative were in the courtroom,
And when and at a certain point, the judge said, we're going to close to press right now, and we'll bring press back in a little, but we're going to close right now so that we can talk about some different security matters for this case. And I think it was the prosecutor stood up and said, his family is here, can they stay for this? And the judge said, no, they can't stay. And so there were reports on Twitter from Brian Ensign, who's a reporter, and he was saying, he was in the courtroom, and he said, now his mother's out here in the hall crying, and she's just out here with the rest of us. So it's pretty crazy.
Candace had stated that she thought Robinson was innocent, or something to that effect. And I think, it's been a while since you talked about it, but that his parents didn't actually turn him in, or something to that effect. She's questioned the official narrative. And there are a lot of people that believe the parents actually didn't turn him in, and none of this is true. But the parents were sitting right there. They've not come out and said our child is innocent or anything like that.
No.
They have every opportunity to do that, and that's something typical that happens in defense when someone's family member is being prosecuted, but they're not.
Right.
Have we learned anything about what their defense is intending to say?
No, we have not. They have been pretty closed about it. They're really intent on keeping cameras out of the courtroom, and they're really intent on
is he actually
tightening
not
this
guilty?
up. He hasn't entered a plea yet. Yeah.
This is weird.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. If it were my kid and I believed in his innocence, like you guys are parents, you'd go to the mat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's got to be devastating for the. I have feelings of grace for everybody involved in this, and I feel badly for his parents.
For anyone that's not conspiracy minded, the evidence that you
got
that
24
is
minutes
publicly
left.
available makes you say, yeah, it was probably that kid. Obviously, you have to wait for the court case, and obviously things can come out in the trial and stuff. But unless you're the kind of person that is already incredibly skeptical of the government and incredibly skeptical of the official narrative, and you don't have ulterior motives, this is kind of like, it looks like the kid did it. The parents turned him in, got these emails or these text messages.
There were also Discord messages that he sent to his gaming friend.
There was talk about it prior
there
to
were
it.
always
There
were the text messages
and
to
so
the Lance Twigs
guy. To think that it wasn't him, or to be so strongly to believe so strongly that it wasn't him to say we have to find the real killer and we need to ask all these questions. You have to be incredibly conspiracy minded, and you have to be generally too online. To your point,
there's also kind of this thing of Charlie was so big, right? He was such a big thought leader in this movement. He touched everybody's lives. He held so many people together who, adored him and maybe didn't like each other. And so to think that some twerpy, lots of things I won't say on air kid could take someone like that down. It is kind of hard to believe that just of the stature. It's such a, anyone is vulnerable to something like that.
You know what really fascinates me? The people who follow Candace are willing to believe the French Foreign Legion and Israel are trying to kill her, but not that a crackpot leftist killed Charlie Kirk. Right? We literally watched video of Teslas burning, of people getting out of vehicles. There's a video of a car on a highway speeding up in front of a woman, slamming his brakes on, getting out, screaming at her because she's in a Tesla. We've seen news reports of Teslas unloaded upon. There is video of a man walking up to a Trump supporter and yelling, what did he say, we got one here, or something like that? And then he puts 2 bullets in the chest of Aaron Danielson.
Yeah, that's right.
And so when there's a shooting at a university, and Charlie is speaking, and quick work, they find a suspect with leftist sympathies, a trans boyfriend, and these chats from leftists and trans people online saying something is going to happen to Charlie. It's like, wow, there's a preponderance of evidence here. Let's see what else they present in trial. And there are people going, nah, I can't believe that at all. But the French Foreign Legion, Emmanuel Macron, and Israelis are currently out to get Candace.
Well, people were primed from COVID to not trust government narratives on just about every level. And it kind of ties in also with a lot of distrust with the FBI right now because people don't think Kash Patel is doing the job he's supposed to be doing. So you can't have a movement that's been unbelievably critical of official narratives for such a long time and not expect something like this to eventually come to a head and go off the rails at a certain point. And I think it was fodder. I think it was perfect timing.
When we had this incident Saturday morning, there were people tweeting that the shooting, before any information came out, they were saying that it was because Milo was speaking the truth and they were trying to stop us. Not a joke. They were tweeting that Milo came on the show and he was speaking the truth, and so someone was sent to stop them. It is actually really simple. Our security reported a gray sedan had been circling the building all day, and they were keeping an eye out. And then a similar-looking vehicle, opened fire around midnight. It is scary to realize that one crazy person who has a legal weapon and knows where you are can end you, be you famous or otherwise. Why is it so hard to believe that Tyler Robinson is the person?
It's actually not. That was kind of my point earlier. It's not hard to believe. You have to be motivated to not believe it, or at least to be like, no, this is definitely not it. We need to find the real truth. You have to have a motivation. And to your point, Brett, the real damage from COVID is that people just don't believe anything. There were so many people that in the beginning of COVID, they got taken. They were like, everyone believed that COVID was going to be the end of the world, and it was going to be the new pandemic that really, killed billions and billions of people and all of this stuff. And so there's a lot of people that are just like, I'm not going to get taken again. So if the government says it, it definitely isn't true. And again, it doesn't matter that it's not actually the FBI doing the investigation, that it's the state of Utah. It doesn't matter. It's the authority. And the people that are motivated to say, I don't believe the authority, no matter what they tell me, they're definitely lying. And part of this, to your point again, like you said, the problem, it rests with the government. It's because they were actually deceptive to the American people about COVID. When people were like, oh, you can't go to you have to stand 6 feet away from people, but it's perfectly fine if you're out protesting for George Floyd. People were just like, man,
I recently purchased the most popular glucose meter online and decided to test it with you. If you have diabetes...
And rightly so,
I think the bigger problem is people can't critical think. And so I wonder what this age range is of people, that were taken during COVID, tricked during COVID, and now woke up and are angry. And then I wonder of the people now that are online that are so gullible in believing everything and anything and following it. Is that the younger generation? It's because of the lack of education and the ability to critical think. We've seen that happen over the last 5 years.
I don't think you're wrong, but I think you're right. It is the gullible people, and there's a certain amount of ego that goes along with it. If you're a little below average of intelligence, you definitely don't want to think that people are smarter than you, and you want to sit and you want to be able to say, look, I'm actually smart. I know the real stuff. And you see it all over the internet, people that are just like, you're dumb because you believe this. I'm the smart one. And you can, I see it in my mentions all the time. People, they don't just say, nah, man, that's wrong. It's, you're an idiot. I'm so much smarter than you. I'm better than you. And it's a ton of ego. It's an ego boost. It makes people feel good about themselves to say, you're dumb and I'm the one with the special knowledge, the insider knowledge, because I watch Candace Owens.
You know, I've got people in my life, like people in my life that participate in my life, that they don't quite say it that derogatory, but they say, you'll see, when you figure it out, let me know. When you learn, when you understand, and I'm like, oh, good grief.
Well, we do have a sort of feeling in our culture that there's always, it's like, I often think that America is a place that is so addicted to the concept of authenticity that we're constantly trying to peel back the onion to find the real thing. What's the real thing? What's the real thing? And maybe it's because we're a young country and we don't have the kind of ancient thing where, like, if you're doing a public works project in Greece, you start digging and then you're like, damn it, ruins. Oh, now it's a historical site. We have to put the public thing somewhere else. You know what I mean? My uncle had a B&B in Crete, and he used to make this, he and my aunt, and he's since passed, but he used to make this joke that if you find ruins in your backyard, chuck them over the fence in your neighbor's yard so that it's their problem. You don't want the ruins at your house, because then you have to stop work or whatever. But I think we're hooked on this idea that there's always something deeper and something more nefarious going on, and sometimes sometimes that's just not what's happening.
Let's jump to this next story and get serious with these midterms. We've got this from Mediaite. Indiana Senate votes against Trump-backed redistricting plan. Surprise, surprise. Let's pull up this tweet, actually, from Tony Cook. He says, breaking, Indiana Senate votes down redistricting bill, breaking with President Trump. And you can see the nays, 31, the yays, 19. And I have this clip here from Greg Price. He says, Indiana Senate Majority Leader Chris Garton just gave a fiery speech in favor of the 9-0 map.
Some will say these maps are political. Let me be clear. You're damn right they are. Political policy is political. Safe streets are political. Look at Indianapolis. Affordable electricity is political. A drug-free Indiana is political. Peace in the Middle East is political. I dealt with it firsthand. If drawing a map that secures 2 more seats for the Republican Party means that we continue to see overdose deaths drop by 20%, then I'll draw that map every single day of the week and twice on Sunday. If drawing a map means that we'll continue to see a 93% drop in illegal immigration, then I'll sign it with a smile on my face. We're not here to be neutral arbiters of decline. We're here to be active agents of American greatness.
Wow.
So I ask you.
I wish I had 2% of the fiery passion and charisma that man has. I'm riled up.
I want more of that.
We got this from Tyler Boyer at Turning Point. He says, Turning Point Action will be publicly endorsing opponents of the state senators who voted against the redistricting today. Good. We thought we were bluffing. No, we will educate voters and throw thousands of volunteers and staff at their local districts. Let's go. And real quick, I just got to shout out that Chris Garton once again. Man, that guy needs to run for the Senate or something. I'd like to see that guy in federal politics. But, I respect him fighting for his state. That's beautiful.
Libby, you were saying earlier they have a supermajority in Indiana and they still didn't make it, right?
Yeah, 19 Republicans voted against this, and they all should be absolutely ashamed of themselves. You have the entire Democratic Party working so hard to do all kinds of really stupid things, from flood our nation with illegal immigrants and trans our kids and, push DEI in schools, even though it doesn't actually do anything positive for the kids. It just makes everything worse.
People are upset about Nick Fuentes. Mm-hmm. DEI is why Nick Fuentes exists.
Well, yeah, because the thing is, Tina and I were just talking about this before the show. There was this educational hearing in the Kentucky State Legislature, and you have this one state senator being like, hey, we got to get rid of DEI in schools because all of our kids are failing everything and our discipline problems. And everybody else is like, but there's discrimination, and so we have to fix it. And it's like, okay, first of all, maybe there's discrimination at this point. I don't really think there is. They're all living 50 years ago in some sort of time capsule. And then the other piece of it is, just because you've identified a problem doesn't mean that the proposed solution is the one that's going to fix it.
Yep.
You're idiots, just because you think there's this issue, there's discrimination, actually, what they believe is being discriminatory, they're sort of circa 1960. They don't really identify what's going on. They live in their own stupid bubbles.
You're channeling this energy now.
I was writing about this lady last night. Sarah Stalker from Kentucky is a complete and total moron, and she should be ashamed of herself. She went out there on the state legislature and she was like, I don't like being white all the time, and children need to know about their historical privilege. No, they don't, idiot. You don't go around telling children that there's something wrong with them because of the color of their skin. That's racist. That gif of the kid, that's racist. That's racist.
Yeah.
You fool.
And I saw the Sarah Stalker clip. I actually put it in the IRS Slack. Let's grab it. But, Cernovich was talking about it, and I tweeted about it, and I was like, this is why so many people, so many young white men, think that Nick Fuentes is compelling. Because you're telling them that they're evil by nature of their skin color, and then you have public policy that is literally oppressing them, that is ostracizing them, that you're keeping them out of colleges, they're not getting jobs, they're not, going out and meeting girls. What do you think is going to happen when you tell an entire generation of young men that they are inherently evil? You're going to coalesce around the thing.
I forgot the other real bunch of code.
The bigger picture I see here with the Indiana Senate is that people are begging Republicans to and Republicans are begging them to accept this doing nothing. So the Republicans are getting very little done. And now in Indiana, where they have an opportunity, they're basically doing nothing. So if you want to get people to come out, get the concerns and rally, I understand it's like the last 2 months of the race that really matter most. Right now we've forgotten within a few months. But you have to look on more than not. Because it seems like they're trying to lose.
Yeah, California, Gavin Newsom, he got this Prop 50 passed. They're going to eliminate seats essentially in the state. You had all of these states being like, we're going to redistrict too. It's like you're already entirely redistricted. You know, you can't redistrict. I was actually with a family out in Boston just over Thanksgiving, and I was talking to them about it, and they were like, yeah, we don't have a vote. We're not represented at all.
I feel, I feel really bad for them. I feel like the worst team over 278. They have this election track for the House and the Senate election. And it's been changing because everyone is redistricting now to try and gain advantages. So it's going to, here's the reason. You can see that there's 185 deep red, there's 167 deep blue, and then there's a gradient in between. It's going to turn into a solid red blue line. That's the plan. And the reason why I say I feel bad for them is because they're going to keep updating their code. It's like one 19 guy, not a 19 guy, but like a software dev guy.
I gotta grab a little snack too.
Redistricting is like, oh, no fix it. It's like, we'll change everything again.
And I'm trying to sit online.
Here's what Brett find really interesting, actually. It's, I want to pull up, let me see if I can pull up prediction market. Let's see. Which party will win in the House from the call sheet? So, we've got this from call sheet. Currently, the Democratic Party is at 74% favorability to win control of the House in the midterms. But as each state does or does not redistrict, it's going to cause massive swings in their prediction market. This is going to be interesting if people are accounting for it. Now, Indiana just said no. Democrats should tick slightly upward. They don't want to redistrict. I've got this here. Let me pull up. Where did I just put that thing? Here we go.
You think Jasmine Crockett will win in Texas? Win the Senate?
No way.
You don't think so?
Weird thing happened.
She's running for Senate now instead.
Check this out. Current midterm redistricting status. California D+5, Utah D+1. You've got pending Democrat redistricting, Virginia D+2, Maryland D+1. And then you've got confirmed Republican with Texas, Missouri, Indiana, Ohio, North Carolina for 11 new seats. And pending, you've got Kansas, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, a total of 10 possibilities. The potential total is going to be Republican plus 21 and Democrat plus 9. This is crazy. Basically, every state now has decided to, in the middle of the decade, redistrict to try and win the midterms. Civil War much?
I think it makes sense though, because you had the census, and okay, that's fine. But then Biden imported what? How many? Like 10, 20 million illegal immigrants, just let everybody in and distributed them all over the country on free flights. No one even knew that these people were showing up in their communities until they were just there, giving them all like kinds of money and free phones and whatever else, and then work authorizations after 180 days. And then also, what else did he do? He just dismissed like some 70% or something like that of asylum cases. So there's all these people who were seeking asylum, and now they're just in the country. They have no legal status. They, don't have to leave. So what are they doing there? Well, they're beefing up Democrat numbers in these districts. So it kind of makes sense for all of these places to be like, listen, you dumped heaps of new people on us who can't vote, but who we're supposed to try and represent, and now we have to kind of change things. I think that,
I agree.
Okay.
I also just think I don't want to go back to a time where we're forced to get medications, can't go out and eat unless we wear 2 masks. So I'm willing to just vote Republican, even if they are just like a turtle in the middle of the road slowing your car down.
My favorite was Alyssa Milano's crocheted mask.
Yep.
And how she had to act like she didn't. How she had to act like she knew it didn't actually protect anything. She was like, no, I knew that it had holes in it. Yeah, I knew it.
Crochet.
Yeah, it was crocheted. It was a picture, a selfie of her and her husband and their kids in their car, and they all had like normal masks, and she was like, mine are pretty.
Let's pull up that video we've got this year from Rep Sarah Stalker. I have guilt every day for being white, and kids should too.
Children. I'm going to be honest. I don't feel good about being white every day. For a lot of reasons.
Retardation.
It's disappointing that I get to move through the world in a way that so many of my other colleagues and friends and family members of the community don't get the privilege to do. And I'm just a female, just a woman, just a white woman. If I was a white man, I would be functioning from a point of an even greater privilege. I think we're missing an opportunity when kids have a moment to reflect about how the color of their skin does and does not allow them to move through the world. Running to them and trying to stifle that and trying to say
fucking
you
retarded.
shouldn't feel bad. So we don't want to ever expose you to something that is going to make you have to pause and have maybe some internal feelings. It's a missed opportunity for some really good dialogue.
Have you noticed how she keeps whistling on her S's?
Oh, I was wrong, by the way. 21 Republicans voted against, 19 voted for.
I thought it was more. I thought it was in that story. It shows 31 nays, 19 yays.
Okay, well, someone from my team was just like, you were wrong. So.
Oh, was it like bill to quash this or something?
I don't know.
You know, anyway, this video that you posted, Libby, is it slightly different?
I think it's a longer one, but I have another one. Here, let me give you the.
You said more?
No.
No.
Please don't make me watch anything like that again. Listen, we cannot have someone like that and her people in charge of this country again. You're talking about the midterms. You're talking about redistricting. I'm sitting over here. I'm thinking about what happened in my state of Miami this past week with their mayor election.
How did that happen? A Democrat won in Miami?
Did you see this wasn't it last? You just said plus at Wayfair. The holidays are here, and
I'm not ready.
I know. Or plus 5 or 10 seats in Florida. Like we have over 1 million Republican voters in our state. Miami hasn't had a Democrat in charge, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 years or something like that. It is crazy. And I'm listening to people that are having these other off elections in places around the country.
I gotta drop shit here
They're
and go
losing.
do some
The
more
Republicans
videos.
and the conservatives are losing everywhere. And if we don't get our act together, if the Republicans don't get their heads out of their rear ends, and I get fired up and I get angry, very, very angry, because what they did to kids under the Biden administration, what they did to moms under the Biden administration, we cannot have that woman back in power.
What is this woman's name, Libby?
Sarah Stalker.
She really helps me understand bang, zoom, straight to the moon.
They're all like this, though. That lady next to her, she
I
sucks
might be the
too.
only one old enough to get that. Yeah. Did you understand what I just said?
No.
To the moon, Alice.
Oh, I get Alice.
It was a joke implying that her incessant nagging makes me want to strike her.
Well, I
It's a
think
joke
that
I don't really
show
want to. It's from the
was
Honeymooners.
I think that show was a little problematic, and there was probably a lot of domestic violence.
One of the best jokes ever was Futurama, when they go to the moon and the whales on the moon. They're like Earth astronauts were very fat, and he's like, one of these days, Alice, bang, zoom, straight to the moon. And no, and then Leela was like, I didn't realize astronauts are so fat. And then he goes, he's not an astronaut. He was just using space travel as a metaphor for beating his wife.
To the point about like this woman, this is a woman in a position of authority. You know, literally saying
people voted for her.
Children should feel inherently bad about their skin color.
Wait, we should play this clip.
Within JCPS, we have a really diverse
stop.
body of students.
We need to
We have 145 languages that are spoken, and we have a really high percentage.
What did she
of
say?
free and reduced
stop.
body of students.
We need to
We have 145 languages.
145 languages? Are you kidding me?
Percentage of kids that are on free and reduced lunch.
Bro, she's Cobra Commander.
In the term,
You don't have that many languages you fucking speak. Click, clicks, fucking all that other shit.
it's about including everyone.
No.
White people have never been excluded. what the efforts of DEI is trying to do within a school setting now is to open other students, their stories.
Nobody's never
relative,
heard 145 languages.
Their culture, their history. Those things are important to see reflective in the reading material.
Oh, I forgot this one.
And if we don't allow those things to come into our textbooks and to come into our conversations in the classroom in a constructive way, then we are simply just trying to whitewash things, and I find that to be incredibly problematic.
Okay, that's it. I'm Saudi Arabia, here I come. Sharia law, all of it. I'm just repeal the 19th doesn't go far enough. No. She has convinced me. Not only was she doing a vocal fry, but she was also hissing.
Yes, she
said. You know what? By all means, everyone now pile on and talk about the things that she said, the merit of her ideas being bad, and then I'm just going to be like, but she was vocal frying. Oh.
No, she's awful. Everything about her is awful. And that little glasses next to her, she sucks too. She said stupid stuff also. They all said stupid stuff. And in fact, I was going to clip way more of this, and then I had to go do more of my job instead of pay attention to these idiot women. But they're so foolish because they act like they're saying something that is really profound, and they're saying that this woman's solution, getting rid of DEI, is bad because of all of their ideological whimsy. But it's founded in nothing. Yeah. And you had this woman, glasses over here, she was like, can you show me some studies, peer-reviewed studies? Or no, it wasn't her, it was a different stupid woman in this legislature.
More?
It's all women in this legislature. I don't know what Kentucky is doing wrong, but they're really not sending their best to run this state. They've just gone way too far in the other direction. And the couple of men that did speak up in this hearing, they were so meek about it. And I was like, fellas, grab your balls and stand up.
Look, listen, it's the testosterone. These guys, they need to they need to drop trout and put a red light on their balls. They get a testosterone pack. The only answer.
They gotta do something.
I guarantee if men stood up and sounded assertive, these women would say that they're trying to intimidate them. That it would be all. I don't know if there was hate.
But then they might. They might fall in.
I was gonna say, Phil, if these men stood up and talked back, they'd say, you. That's what they do.
Yeah, I mean, possibly, but
probably not these guys, but no.
People like this that believe this stuff. If a man were to stand up and say, no, you're wrong, and blah, blah, and be in an assertive way, they would see you as being toxically masculine, and that it was an unsafe environment, and they would use all of the buzzwords, and these guys would get censured in the Kentucky State legislature or whatever.
I know what to do. I want to tell you guys about chickens, but hear me out.
Okay.
So I'm sure all of you know about the pecking order. You've heard this, right?
Sure.
It's because chickens, hens, the females, they all create a pecking order, which is they peck at each other and then eventually figure out who's the super hen, who's in charge. And then there's a hierarchy, essentially. Roosters kind of have this. People believe that if you put two roosters in the same coop, they'll fight. That's not true. They stay away from each other so long as there's enough ladies to go around. So the guys will kind of just back off and they'll have their harem or whatever. Now, here's the thing. They did an experiment where they said, what happens if we take the alpha hen at the top of the pecking order, another one from a different coop, and we put them all in one coop? We'll create a new pecking order. No, they all murdered each other.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying we should take people like her and Elizabeth Warren and the rest of them and create a special legislative body for all of them so they can just scream at each other.
You could do that, but if you put AOC in there, they'll dissolve. Then they would create a new pecking order and you'd be in charge.
No, if you let them do that, you don't give them any actual voting power. They just need to argue amongst themselves. And
it's cathartic.
Yeah.
All right, I have a real solution, not to plug my organization, but the whole point of Moms
You have a great organization, though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I mean, the whole point of Moms for Liberty when we started, and the reason it was titled Moms for Liberty and it was a women's-based organization is because we saw the lay of the land. And men really, especially in 21 when we launched, it's hard for them to stand up at school board meetings where you have these other women standing there for exactly what you're saying, the optics of what was going on. It was when the Biden administration was like, the Proud Boys, this, that, like, men were really being marginalized. And so in order to combat this woman, you're right. I don't know that you could go stand in there in all your manly self and combat her in a fair fashion because she'll play victim. You'll look like the big mean bad guy.
You need another mom. You need a softer equivalent woman in there that can speak intelligently, that understands all the wrongs that this woman and her people are doing and can combat it.
The issue that I see is that 50 Shades of Grey sold 150 million copies, and now you've got Minotaur Milking Farm, or whatever it's called.
Is that
Morning Glory Milk?
The Minotaur Milking Farm.
I can't remember the title of that book.
Minotaur Milking Farm.
No. The Morning Glory Milking Farm is a bestseller that women love, which is very similar to 50 Shades of Grey. So if you're not familiar, have either of you, are either familiar? I'd imagine you're not.
I did not read neither one.
So 50 Shades of Grey is a college grad woman with debt she can't afford to pay it back.
It's kind of like Secretary, right? James Spader.
She meets a billionaire who puts her in a slave contract where he beats her, and she loves it. And it sold 150 million copies because women loved it. And Morning Glory Milking Farm is basically the same thing. A young woman graduates college, but she can't pay off her debt, so she takes a job at a glory hole facility where minotaurs go to get milked by young women. And it's like a bestseller, it's massive, and women love it.
Oh my God.
The things that motivate women are very different from the things that motivate men. And there's this trope, this idea, right? There's the male power fantasy. When you watch a movie like Spider-Man from the 2000s, is a really great example of the male power fantasy. And that is, the Green Goblin captures a school bus full of children, and Peter's love interest, Mary Jane, and he says, "What'll it be, Peter? Mary Jane or suffer the children?" And Spider-Man saves them both. Because that's the male power fantasy. Or like when Spider-Man's in the train, screaming, and like he's being ripped apart, but he saves everyone. The female power fantasy is represented in rom-coms, where the woman trounces about doing whatever she wants and gets whatever she wants in the end. That's the trope. If you watch rom-coms, it's just she goofs off, screws around at work, or she like ditches her husband for some new guy she just met. Or there's that new show called Dying for Sex, where a woman who was with her husband for 15 years gets stage 4 cancer, a terminal diagnosis, so she says, "I'm leaving you," and then she goes and bangs 200 guys.
Nasty.
These are the shows. And I'm not saying all women are like this. I'm saying so long as you have these macro trends of we can see what it is that women will generally choose, it is absurd not to think they will generally choose similar things in politics. Now, I am not saying repeal the 19. I don't go that far. I think a lot of dumb guys, too. I'm saying if we don't recognize the tendencies of female macro patterns, we're going to overlook psychopaths like this lady who burned down the system.
So what you're saying is to get rid of books like Morning Glory Milking Farm, we actually do have to cancel student debt. Because it's always about debt.
That's right.
Yes.
So make a new book called something. It's something about Zoran Mamdani, and like he becomes president somehow. They overturn which amendment is it? No, it's actually just in the Constitution. I think it's one of the original articles. They pass a new amendment allowing Zoran to be president. He cancels student loan debt and then has a harem. There you go.
But all the girls in Williamsburg would love that.
I know. I'd make $1 million. I should write the book.
Yeah.
I should. Actually, that's a really good idea. Guys.
Yeah.
For all the guys out there listening to this right now, AI is your friend. You ask ChatGPT to write you an erotic novel about Zoran Mamdani canceling student debt, and then you put it on Amazon, and then make Facebook ads targeting and Instagram targeting specifically Williamsburg. You make $1 million overnight.
But what happens when Mamdani rejects the trans women as being part of his harem, and he's just like, no trans women in the harem?
Mamdani, there are people out there that swear up and down that Mamdani's an Islamist. He's not an Islamist. He is only using Islam as a means to avoid being accused of toxic masculinity. He's a leftist to his core. It has nothing.
We've all seen that little head nod thing.
Yeah, has very, very little to do with his religion or with religion at all. It's all about leftism for him.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got to jump to this next story, which actually I don't know that we're gonna, I guess, because it's in the news. I actually don't know how much I care, but they say Mom 58 speaks out at attack at Nick Fuentes' home as he accepts humiliating punishment for pushing her down the stairs. Controversial live streamer Nick Fuentes has been ordered to attend anger management after pepper spraying a woman and shoving her down the steps of his Chicago area home. The far-right provocateur was accused of attacking 58-year-old Marla Rose in an incident she captured on video after knocking on his door in Berwyn, Illinois on November 10th, 2024. Fuentes, 27, was arrested and charged with 1 count of misdemeanor battery 17 days later and was released the same day. Along with court-mandated anger management course, Fuentes must issue a formal apology to Rose in person, compensate her $635 for the cell phone he broke, and complete 75 hours of PA service before January 23rd. It can't be for white supremacist Rose Griff in an interview with the Daily Mail referring to community service. Court records show that Fuentes accepted the terms on Tuesday, 2 days before he was due to appear in court. As part of the deal, there can be no further contact between the two. And this is why I chose West Virginia. Now, I think the mistake that Nick made is as soon as she knocked on the door, he opened it, pepper sprayed her. He probably should have just not gone to the door and should have called the police. Yes. I do understand, however, I'm not completely faulting him because people were stalking his home and threatening to kill him. And then a strange person shows up at his front door, and I think it's fair to say he really didn't know what he was doing. Yeah. Because certainly if he's accepting this agreement, if he really thought that he was just or that he was doing was right, he could have pleaded not guilty. However, in West Virginia, in order for you to access the property, we are gated. And if you trespass on my property and something bad happens, I'll just say that, we don't deal with this stuff out here.
What happens?
In West Virginia?
Yeah.
Well, let me just remove. Oh, no, I can say. I'll put it like this. Let's remove everything and just go into a neutral context.
Okay.
There is let's start with New Jersey. Or we can go Chicago. But New Jersey's a good example. One of the worst states. A man kicks your door in and screams, "I've got a gun and I'm going to kill your family." And then he turns and you are in the kitchen and he is standing there. And you have a door behind you that leads out into your alley. If you say, "I won't let you do that," and shoot him, you have now murdered someone. And that is a crime, and you'll be charged with a felony and arrested. Because you had an exit. You could have ran away.
That's trash.
You are forced to retreat from your own home in New Jersey. Next up,
that's like
we have Maryland. In Maryland, let's say you and your kids are out playing, let's say you have like 5 acres. And your kids are in the front lawn playing. When a man starts walking up and he's got a rifle and he screams, "I'm going to kill your family," you are required to run into your home and lock the door. And only if the person tries to break in can you respond. So
why does the criminal have the moral high ground?
Because these states are evil. Then we have West Virginia. Somebody, let's say you're on your property, it's 5 acres or whatever, and someone with a gun steps foot of your property and says, "I'm going to kill," bang, and they drop dead. The police show up and they say, "Good job." Now wait, it gets crazier than this. Let's say you're out on your 100-acre property in West Virginia.
Let's go
and you've got a gun.
Get a free ride
it's
home.
your property. And you...
Fresh Cut Paper is having their big Black Friday sale right now, up to 40% off site-wide, so I'm stocking up on my holiday cards. And these...
on your property, walking towards you with a rifle. Legally, you can't just kill someone because they're on your property with a weapon. It's supposed to be that you fear serious bodily harm or an imminent threat, even if they're on your property. That being said, in West Virginia, it is not incumbent upon the property owner to determine or to wait for an extreme circumstance.
Free ride
a simple
home,
act
right
of a
here.
person trespassing and armed, you have a reasonable fear of death. Now, they still expect you to give a warning, but I will just say this. As it was described to me, I was told by law enforcement, please don't just shoot somebody walking around with a weapon because people hunt and sometimes they make mistakes. That being said, there have been many cases where the police have responded to a shooting and there's a dead man with a weapon and a property owner with a weapon, and he says, "This guy was trespassing, he raised his weapon, I feared for my life," and the officers say, "Case closed." Because what can you do? You can't trespass on someone's property, you were armed, there's no witnesses, there's no statements, so all they can say is the guy feared for his life, and that's the way it works. Not in Chicago. In Chicago, they're going to be like, you're going to prison for the rest of your life.
Yeah, all those other states, they also don't seem to believe in private property. You know, they're very happy to seize what you've got and give it to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Florida's a pretty good place also, just saying.
Yeah, but it's starting to turn blue.
Well, maybe
Miami,
but
wasn't it like
Miami's like a whole other country.
It was only 22,000 votes that mayor won.
We want to take the conversation back to the Republican Party. Like, we can go back there because I have a lot of frustrations with them.
You think the Republicans abandoned Miami?
No, I think that they right now there's so much infighting. Even in my state of Florida, like the governor has been fighting our House of Representatives, like our House and Senate, like crazy. The things that are going on, there's like this
underlying divide between people that are supporting Trump-type candidates and those that are supporting DeSantis candidates. Every state, House Liberty is in 48 states, so I'm watching this unfold state after state. South Carolina, between their Freedom Caucus and their non-Freedom Caucus Republicans, they are at war. They are divided, and they are fighting, and it's seeping over into all these other conservative grassroots organizations, and it's dividing them. It's happening like at the most local levels. Like, we can't have nice things. We win. Now's the time when we should be implementing all these policies and moving forward and making gains. And we are. They're so used to fighting. There's no one left to fight, so they're turning on each other. And I'm watching it all the time, every day. And it's. I don't want to agree with that woman.
Yeah. Yep. Well, if there's one thing.
Back to her. Sorry.
If there's one thing that Candace Owens is doing very well, it's helping Nick Fuentes be mainstream.
Yeah.
Because she's gone so insane, Nick has now become the voice of reason in calling her and Ian Carroll out, and it's actually really funny.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoy it. Because Nick's segments calling out these conspiracy psychos, they're actually entertaining. They're very funny. He's a funny guy. And you were saying earlier that what's her name, Sarah Stalker?
Yeah.
That it's people like her that made someone like Nick?
Yeah.
I will tell you, partially, but the south side of Chicago makes someone like Nick.
Sure. I mean, it's not a single issue that's made, Nick into the person that he is.
I think your point was more that they make Nick viable by creating people that want to listen to him.
Yeah, right. Because Nick became Nick because of his upbringing, where he's lived, all the things that have happened to Nick are what has made Nick into the person that he is. But people that haven't had the same kind of experiences in south side of Chicago or what have you, just normal guys that listen to him, they're like, well, I've experienced these kinds of these insults because I'm a white kid. I hear, and it doesn't have to be directed at them. Kids that hear that woman talk, they're going to say, oh, she's talking about me. And she's talking about my future. And they know that their friends that try to go to college, they don't get into the college they want because they're a white kid or whatever. Or they don't get a job because they're a white kid and they want to hire someone that's not a white guy. These things are very, very tangible to young men. And young men already have to deal with the fact that the economy's rough. It's hard to get a start. Young people don't have anything. It's tough to start from zero. So it's already hard for them. So to have people in positions of power, but it's not just her. Those same kind of ideas are repeated all throughout the Democrat Party. So you're hearing people like AOC. You're hearing people like members of Congress, people in the Senate. They say the same kind of things. So it doesn't matter that this one individual said it. This is the overall narrative that you get from the left. You even hear the late night guys making jokes. I'm just a white guy. In
white guy tacos.
Yeah, they use it.
Is that tuna and mayonnaise?
Yeah, you see it in comedies and sitcoms and stuff. The father's always a dopey guy. Everything. It's the way that specifically white men are treated by society now, because allegedly white men have been in positions of power, so now white men can't have nice things.
It's white men's fault.
It is.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, I just had if white men were in power and they decided to allow people to do all of these things, then who's to blame?
Yeah, well, I think
at some point, some dude was like, it's a good idea. Women should vote. Here we are. No. At some point, they said, what? Everyone should vote. Wrong. Yeah. Wrong. Yeah, my answer is
that's
here's the important thing. When voting was instituted, it was landowners, it was white men, and this means that most men weren't voting either. Only those who succeeded enough to be able to own property were able to vote. And so the issue is whether men only can vote. I don't think there's a new amendment that says, or we actually don't even need an amendment to the law. Upon turning 18, you sign up for selective service, male or female, and when you do, they mail you your voter ID card. Or they mail you like your registration certificate, which you then bring to the DMV, and you'll get like a voter stamp on your ID or whatever that you can use to vote. And if you don't have it, you can't vote. And I'm not saying people should be drafted. I'm saying you have to at least pledge that should the country fall into a time of need, you will step up in whatever is necessary. And you have a right to vote on how that happens.
Let's grab something before the dog gets tired.
You should have to actually pass a test. I think my solution is, while difficult, yours is way too difficult. I want to. No, I'm saying you can't implement it. The idea that everyone already signs up for selective service men anyway. There's already Democrat pressure to make women do it as well. And you could very easily be like, oh, okay, so this is how you register to vote.
Yeah, but you're just going to end up with the same situation where, like, anyone signs up for selective service. And then they're going to go ahead and...
You don't have to sign up for selective service. So what happens is, when the liberal goes to some crackpot on the street and says, you want to sign up to vote? They'll be like, hell no, I don't want to get drafted.
No, I think it's a bad idea because...
What did I pick up?
The more brutish-looking, acting women might want to do it, and those of us that might want to have babies and be wives don't want to be drafted. I'd rather be...
80% of women will not sign up.
No, I want a little more Starship Troopers in my voting. You have to be a citizen, and there should be a requirement to become a citizen. You can be a civilian, and you can live in the country, and that's fine, but
don't you
be a citizen to vote?
Right, don't you guys remember? Don't you remember when Democrats were pushing for women in the draft, and all of these feminists started posting videos being like, no, and like, I don't want to be a feminist anymore. Like, they were like, literally, the feminism leaving my body.
The same thing happened when it came to voting. The arguments of the women that would not sign up, they didn't think that women should vote. They're like, no, then we're going to have to be responsible. Then we're going to blah, blah, blah. They didn't want the responsibility.
This is my point. So go to an 18-year-old woman and say, would you like to vote? They'll say yes. Just sign up for the draft. They'll say, yeah, right. You think women will vote for the draft? It's ridiculous.
Because we have a mostly, right now we have a mostly volunteer army. And because most people, the American people wouldn't sit for a job that
$100.
I would take that, yeah.
I will. So let's have Alad's going to go to Times Square. Okay, we're going to have him walk up to random men and women, and he's going to ask them to actually sign up for the draft. They're like, will you sign up right now to be drafted? And he's going to ask men and women, and I guarantee you it's going to be.
There has to be some kind of benefit for it to vote.
$5. I'll give you $5 right now to sign up to be drafted.
No, you have to ask them, would you sign, if it were required to sign up for selective service for the draft in order to vote, would you? And the reason I say that is because right now, people think their vote is super important. They have been conned into thinking that voting is this amazing power.
Yeah, remember Rock the Vote, Paris?
Yeah, MTV destroyed.
Are you actually thinking there would be more?
Yeah, MTV is really good with Rock the Vote, man.
Most people saying, oh yeah, whatever, because there hasn't been a draft since Vietnam, and everybody protested against it, and no, the government's never going to draft people, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think that people would assume that there would not be a draft. They would assume that there won't be any kind of big, full-scale war that would require drafting.
I think you're overly intelligent if you're that average person.
I think, no, I'm not saying they're intelligent. I think that they would just say, no, it's always going to be the situation that we've seen, which is people.
Most people are going to say, I don't want to be drafted. Even guys.
I'll bring $100 to
I am thinking that they're going to sign up, but if you're going to do that, you have to find out if they're conservative or liberal, because if you get 190 sign up or 50 sign up, 60 sign up, and they're all liberal, like you're going to. If you did that, if that got implemented, I think it would be all liberal women that would sign up. And
I don't think liberal women will sign up at all. I think there's like 8% of the population that are leftist. It's probably closer to 15 these days because it's been like 6 years since it was started. And they might say yes, the women in that bracket. But most women are going to go, huh? And don't you guys ever watch the Whatever podcast?
Yes.
Where it's like, what country are you in?
I find the Whatever podcast as hard to watch as watching therapy.
Ryan's like, what country are you in? And they're like, Texas?
Yeah, but those are not representative of the average woman in this country.
Thank you. They might be.
No. I don't know.
I don't know any.
I love the one where the chick was named Felicity. She's like, name 3 countries. And the lady's like, I don't want to do this.
She can't name countries?
She's like China, Italy, and France. And then she goes to the next woman, and the woman goes, Canada, Italy, and France. And she's like, you can't use the same ones. Pick different ones. This is like, I don't know.
There's hundreds and hundreds of countries.
189, I think.
Yeah, 189. Yeah.
189?
Yeah, and the funny thing is Somalia on the corruption index is like 179 or something.
Oh,
corruption. Are we going to go there now?
What was it? Someone said that they were going to start actually investigating Ilhan Omar about whether her...
Yeah, Trump was talking about it.
No, so she did. Like, there was a report out of the Daily Mail, and that said she did marry her brother, and that she divorced her husband, married her brother. No. She married her brother in a Christian ceremony because nobody thinks that counts in the Muslim community, so and nobody would know, so they just did that. And it wasn't that she married him for citizenship reasons. She married him.
Naked man.
So it was corruption and fraud. It was just fraud. It was government loophole. Oh, that government money must be for me. If we just lie, we can have it.
I really hope that they do investigate and find something, and that I would love to see her lose her seat over this. Go to jail.
What do you mean? Just get sent back to Somalia.
That'd be fine.
I would love that. She would get her citizenship voided because the law is that if you commit immigration fraud, they can remove you. You can be denaturalized.
Yeah, and that seems pretty fraudulent. Marrying your brother in a fake ceremony so that you can get access to government services. You know, and then advocate for the government to forgive those loans. So now you're just stealing? What the hell's that?
Love it.
Yeah, but she's trying to stop Morning Glory Milking Farm.
We got to talk about this, and I'm just going to default to Brett because I have no idea what's going on. But this is a huge story.
This is a Kellen story.
This is you don't know anybody here sports. This is apparently a really crazy story. It's blowing up.
I read this.
Fired Michigan coach Sharon Moore was suicidal after cops were called to his executive assistant's apartment. So my understanding is that he was cheating, it's like an affair.
Yeah.
And then
with his exec assist.
Yeah.
Apparently. Yeah.
And then
let me just stalking her.
This isn't
held a knife to his own.
This is
held a knife to his own throat.
Yeah. This is like the real true crime drama.
Broke into somebody else's house to threaten his.
Okay, let me read it. Sharon Moore, one of the biggest names in college football, threw away his $30 million coaching career and his freedom after getting caught having an affair with a subordinate and then was arrested in the aftermath. Within the span of a few hours on Wednesday, Moore, 39, was fired as the University of Michigan's head football coach and arrested on suspicion of assaulting a woman at the home of Paige Shiver, 32, his executive assistant. Joe, this is crazy. The shocking news came just days after Moore had spoken with reporters as the number 18 ranked Wolverines began to prepare for the Citrus Bowl later this month, and it caught the college football world by surprise. Moore was booked into the Washtenaw County Jail Wednesday after a female caller reported he was armed with a knife and had been stalking her for months, according to police dispatcher audio obtained by the Post. Male at the location is attacking her, said he's been stalking her for months. A male voice in the recording can be heard saying in the audio, crazy. The audio also indicated Moore had threatened to harm himself, kill himself, during the alleged exchange, after which he fled on foot and was arrested. The dispatcher said...
These 100% grass-fed beef sticks from Paleo Valley are 30 sticks for just $36 right now.
1 second.
Before you go and buy them,
I need to grab. I know I'm wasting
processed
my
snacks
time
with
right
these.
now.
Number one, ingredients. There's 100% grass-fed beef from American Family Farms and organic spices, which makes these sticks incredibly flavorful while keeping things clean. Number two, they're naturally fermented, which creates
reported Moore had brandished a knife before throwing down the weapon and running away. It's going to be at the Well Church, 211 Willis Road, suicidal, driving a black Chevy Tahoe blacked out. The call came from Shiver's Ann Arbor address. According to public records, it was not immediately clear if she was the victim. So what is this like? What?
Crazy. Crazy. The idea to yell a knife to his own throat, I heard that's crazy.
$30 million career just down
the tubes.
Over what, like lust? Yeah.
Man.
Lust
stories old
takedown thing. It sure is. It's a takedown thing for sure.
So this story is belonging to the point where even someone who knows nothing about college football, it's on my radar, and I'm seeing people talking about it.
Betting sites are getting in on this.
They are getting in on it?
I'm sure they are.
Oh, yeah. I think it's actually because this is a high-profile, like, drama, true crime affair. It's very salacious. And I'm totally at a loss for anything about college football or whatever, but...
We need Chuck in here.
Yeah, has been terminated following university investigation. Credible evidence found inappropriate relations with staff member. Was the woman that he was having an affair with breaking up with him?
Or something. It is kind of, like I said, it is a tale as old as time that men in positions of power, they just have a hard time saying no to things like this.
Yeah. Like when Tiger Woods kept getting in trouble for banging all those women.
Yeah.
And then South Park made that episode where they were like, what is causing this? Wealthy, successful men to want to have sex with so many different women. Yeah. Shocker. Can't quite figure it out. So apparently, let's see, what is this? The dispatch audio local reports suggest police were called after concerns about his behavior. He threatened to kill himself. But I don't understand why.
I'd like to know the timeline. I'd like to know the timeline. Like if this is like, is this already after he lost his contract? He's got nothing left to lose. I'm sure he's got some money in the bank anyway.
He did $30 million. Like a $30 million contract. How many years was it? Crazy. Too much for this stuff. Yeah, he was cheating on his having affairs. He was cheating on his existing girlfriend. The whole like he had a mental breakdown. Oh, well, there you go, of course. So yeah, he had a mental breakdown. He's like, I'll kill myself because he's crazy. Man. Well, you know, it's kind of messed up, but maybe this will be a distraction for people. I was saying for a while. I did this recently. When I was younger, all I really cared about was sports. And I was kind of pissed because all this big political stuff was happening, and I thought, why can't people just care about the important things that are going on? Why don't they care? Now I understand. Now I'm begging these people involved in politics to just go away and shut up because they have no idea what they're talking about. So it's, you know, how do we bring back sports? Sports are still very, very popular. Despite what people say there's a reason. Hobby horsing? There's a, yeah. You and I are the only ones who've probably seen those videos. If you're on here, guys, go look for the hobby horsing. Hobby horsing is? Living?
Isn't that where you pretend to be riding a horse and you put a big horse head on it?
Huh?
Do you know that they also do like hobby dogs now?
No.
Yes, with a leash.
This
it's
is
like got a shape at the end, and they they like walk the dog, and then they pause and they pretend to pet it.
We stopped throwing kids in lockers, and ever since then it's been downhill.
Yes.
Oh, competitive.
Did you know there's a competitive sport of hobby horse riding? We've shown some video over the past couple of years. This is growing in popularity. Just this past June, Finland hosted its annual hobby horse championships. 2,000.
I want to put these people in prison.
Bring the meteor.
I saw somebody at a hobby horse, and I've always loved horses, and I've ridden real horses, but I've never been able to have a horse of my own. That's what it is. Ride in the condo, so I will take my.
This is really
sad. You have to have
They're like, I want to see more video. I want to see more hobby horses.
I feel like you're punishing me tonight.
I feel like you're punishing me.
Coach here. It's,
oh, yeah?
You wanted to know how that went?
I want to watch hobby horsing.
No. The scandal began to spiral out of control. Title. He gave her a raise. So there was an investigation. He fired her. So she got mad and she went down and she told them having her and all the things, and that's when it's
How can you get a $30 million contract and not see that coming when things go wrong? Is it just ego?
Yeah, of course it is.
I think these people should be arrested.
The hobby horse people?
I think we need to invade Germany.
The parents should be arrested.
I think this is as good a reason as any to invade Germany, frankly.
Look at this.
Oh my gosh. Tell me we're not doing that in the United States. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. No. Oh, This says Germany. That said Deutschland or something up there. So. Oh, my goodness.
And you notice.
That lady was like 50.
You notice.
What the hell?
Almost all women. you can't vote, okay?
That's fine. All right. I'm okay with that. Yeah. I think we're all. I think you might be ready to vote here.
There was a viral video of this woman, and she's like panting and on the ground, hyperventilating. And she's drenched in sweat, and she's like, to everyone who says hobby horse,
I see that sometimes. It's like I get off X because it pisses me off, and then I go on Instagram and that's there, and I'm just like everything does.
We showed this to No, he's here recently. And I could have sworn he was like, nah, that ain't real.
It's real.
And he's like,
that ain't real.
See, but this is one of those things where, despite what Phil said earlier, they're gonna look and be like, white people.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. They're going to say that.
all white.
But yeah, I mean, look, I can deal with that a whole lot more than like white men are evil.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to be like white people, that's fine, because most likely only white people are going to come up with this idea.
yo, check this out.
Well, no, one day they're going to be talking about equity in hobby horsing.
Meet the LeBron James of hobby horsing.
Leave the song. Copyright.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so sad.
What? I don't understand what they're like impressed by.
You know what they're saying, right? They're like, people run track. What's the difference?
What are they impressed by?
Like,
She was pulling the stick up.
yeah.
So it's form?
I can't.
I really like when they're
I
like
don't know how about
That's
I'm
my
done. I can't watch it anymore. I will look this way. It's sort of like, it's done. It's not. No. It's a shame, really.
dress.
You saw?
I mean, these are good jumps. I'm impressed. That's a big jump.
Yeah.
Is that what they're getting?
Yo, that's like 4 feet or something.
How do they
That's
score
like
these?
5 feet.
What are they scored on?
IQ. And it starts at 50. So after you do the jump,
IQ.
you got to figure out which block goes in which shaped hole, and then they assess your score. The assumption is all of them are
retarded,
developmentally disabled.
What do you think they are?
They all are retarded.
The stick isn't like a full-on,
Yeah.
you know, like.
There's probably like, I swear there's probably a chat being like, oh, hobby horse, stop making fun of me. You know,
Well, that's because you're not allowed to not like anything.
You know what'd be really funny?
To make fun of it.
We like lose 3,000 paying members, and they were like, we're all hobby horsers and whatever, and you're diminishing us.
I think this is honestly like the precursor to furries.
I was gonna say it's like on the road to furries, this is a better alternative. At least they're getting some physical activity.
I think this is the internet.
Yeah.
So what I think happens is, if you go back far enough in time, people are buying these things, and the 5-year-old might pretend like he's on a horse, and then they forget about it. Some of these kids really loved running around and pretending like they're riding a horse. However, as you get older, no one's really walking around with these things, nobody's meeting up for it, it's not socially acceptable, it falls away. Then the internet comes. Someone creates a forum talking about how they love hobby horses.
So we're gonna go grind.
Then people start to trickle into this community, and it allows them to coalesce. What would normally be cast into the shadows is now out in the open for all to see.
See, I want to find like the Republican who gets shunned by this community because it's all leftists. Like, there's got to be at least one, right?
There might be. I remember when I was in 3rd grade and I didn't have any friends, and Mindy and Sarah used to play horses, and they would like put their hands on the ground and then stand on their legs so that their legs were like straight, and they would run around pretending to be horses, and they were like, do you want to play horses with us? And I was like, okay. And I didn't have any friends, right? And so I played horses with them one day, and I was like, it's better not having friends. I'm never doing that again.
So Ellen said that ESPN, one of their top people, is claiming it's a racism or something, and this story about Sherrone Moore. OnlyFans model claims ex-Michigan football coach Sherrone Moore slid into her DMs as it's revealed he attended a Diddy party. Now I'm kind of understanding why this story is a lot bigger. See, I don't pay attention to college sports or anything like that. I might, regular football I passively will hear about and be like, oh, okay, maybe if it's like something local, and then the Super Bowl is always fun. But Diddy party I recognize, and OnlyFans and white supremacy and all those things. So now I can see this is sort of hitting all the marks in the culture war. And now it's okay, all right, I get it. Basically, it's a choose your own adventure of how to be offended.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is one of those stories. Unfortunately, it's going to disappear. It doesn't feel like it's all that big to me.
This, it's actually, I think, one of the biggest stories on the news.
I've seen like stuff like this come and they go. Like I feel like this.
This story had big traffic for everybody today.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I brought it up is because I'm just like, I don't understand. Like the story's massive. It was big. Like I'm not a sports guy, and it was big enough to have people asking me about it.
I thought that was going to be most true, like the gambling, like those athletes getting caught gambling. Like, because I feel like that has bigger implications for the country. Like, if you want to talk about the idea of elections, we need to know that elections are fair. Well, if you want to talk about all of the people who are into politics, who's, they've sublimated their team sport mentality that came from watching athletics, if you can't even believe that the sports you're watching aren't being rigged in some way, then that has massive implications.
Let me pull up this story and tell you about fake news. Let me explain to y'all fake news. This is false news. Trump says he will think about eliminating tax on gambling winnings. Fake news, right? Here's the fake news. Say it again. A bunch of news outlets are reporting that Donald Trump wants to eliminate taxes on gambling winnings, that he's thinking about it. What actually happened? A random reporter asked him, he was like, I don't know, no one's talked about it, we'll see, I guess. And then they reported Trump was going to think about eliminating tax on gambling winnings. What he said was, we got no tax on tips, we got no tax on overtime, maybe there'll be no tax on gambling. But they asked him. He didn't come to them and say, you know what I'm thinking about? Eliminate the tax on gambling winnings.
This is part of that whole thing where journalists, instead of trying to report news, are always trying to make news.
Mm-hmm. And they did. And now everyone's going, he's going to, I doubt he will.
Yeah, I like the thing better when he said eliminate income tax.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I am super into that one.
I should have
That would
drove
be
them.
awesome.
Look at this. This is really funny. When asked on Air Force One if he potentially nix the tax on gambling, he said, we have no tax on tips, we have no tax on Social Security, we got no tax on overtime, no tax on gambling winnings. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that. And now they're all reporting that he's thinking about it. It's just, this is
I gave him a thought.
Clickbait. That's a good headline.
All that really matters is the headline.
But why? I mean,
Trump gamble? He gambles?
Because it makes him look bad.
I bet he puts money on golf now and then, So why not?
Like when he's playing?
Yeah, 50
always bets on himself?
Why not?
More like 50 grand.
As he does, he gives a stern look. And then he just wins every time. Remember when he bet on himself? Remember when he posted how he got a hole-in-one?
Yeah.
So like in his first term?
Yeah.
Just like completely irrelevant to anything. He was like, I just want to let everybody know I'm the president, I got a hole-in-one. It's like,
It
okay.
is pretty baller.
Of course it is.
I gotta say, I know it's goofy, but I liked seeing the president out there golfing. I appreciate that he takes the exercise time and that he's passionate about something, that he's got this as a hobby. I think it's good. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's cool that his granddaughter is like awesome at golf. Kai Trump.
I always win Topgolf.
I love Topgolf.
I always win.
I think they just sold it.
Strategy.
Owned it.
C4! Ooh, dude! We got fucking C4 right now. We got 2 today.
So here's what happens. Every time
No way.
Everybody always hits the ball and they whack it as hard as they can and it flies up in the distance.
For some, less is more. But the right.
We're gonna get chased out of here. I have a fucking feeling.
It's in a random spot and they get no points. It's 2,000 points.
You gotta aim for the thingies.
Well, if you're good enough, you know what I do? I aim for the one right in front.
That little red one?
The little red one. Because I can't hit the club for the life of me. And I get it in every time. And you don't get that many points, but you're okay. And with people aiming far down, they keep missing. But here's the trick. On the second round, the bonuses appear exactly where your shots were going. And then you get like 40,000 points for every red because you're bouncing in the purples bonuses. So I end up with like 200 points and everyone else gets like 120. And that's the secret. Now you got to awesome. And then you can post on Truth about how good health you are.
I've gotten stronger over the past year because I started lifting weights like a year ago.
Yeah.
And so now I can hit the yellows.
The yellow one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel so good about myself, so I'm not going to let you make
Topgolf is pretty awesome though.
Yeah.
I like Topgolf.
I think it's really fun.
Get French fries.
They bring you a little snack.
Yeah.
Little snacks.
Chilling.
They have these little donut holes, and they bring you like this weird syringe with chocolate in it, and you like squirt them into the donut holes. It's weird. Like you could just give me donut holes with chocolate inside the donut. Or you could just do this thing.
You put it on top.
It's weird. It's not, I thought you, because when you're like,
chocolate intake.
because when you make cupcakes and you make like cupcakes with cream inside, you have to like jam it in there and squirt the filling on the inside of the cupcakes before you frost.
I don't get it. I don't why.
You don't like a cream filled cupcake?
Just put it on
You
top.
don't like Hostess? You don't like Hostess? What's the matter with you? I don't know. all stuff inside.
Or
Doesn't all that stuff have?
It's
Yeah,
what?
yeah, exactly.
RFK is giving you a side eye right now.
Oh, whatever.
Doesn't all that stuff have propylene glycol in it?
I don't eat it. I just make cupcakes at home, and that's how I know you have to like squirt the cream on the inside.
I'm not a big cake fan.
I like cake.
No.
Yeah. I like cake.
okay
I like
for cake.
cookies. I like all the things.
Pie was a pie.
All the things.
Yes.
Pie is great too. I mean, what? We have to only like one kind of dessert? What the hell?
Like, wait a minute. Well, why are we choosing?
What's going on? Have it all.
No, I don't want to eat cake. I'm not interested.
Just pie.
Yeah, just pie.
It's just spongy weirdness. Pie has like fruit, it has goodness.
The only time
has maybe
cake is
nuts
good
on
is
it.
if you have
Yeah,
real
it's
cream.
good. Crusty flake. Like you got all these different textures. It's pie's good.
I make this great strawberry cake with strawberry buttercream. Forking delicious.
Our female viewership is skyrocketing right now.
Really?
It's like the numbers. I'm kidding. The numbers are just going up. They're like, tell me more about the pastries you're making. I will.
I'm happy to. When I was pregnant, I decided I wanted to be one of those moms that bake. You know. And so I learned how to bake. And now I make a real nice cake. I make a whole bunch of good stuff. I can make one of each thing. I can't make two different kinds of cakes. I can make one kind of cake.
My wife loves to bake.
Yeah.
More than
See, she knows.
Have you ever made a cronut?
No, I can't do that.
This whole last couple of months.
I've always wanted to eat one, but
I was saying to my wife, I was like, I want to lose some weight, and she's like, I baked these brownies.
That's a good way.
And I'm like, you're sabotaging it, bro.
I just bought.
Bro.
I just bought cocoa yesterday at the grocery store so I could bake brownies because my kid likes brownies and I don't like to buy the box, you know. So anyway,
Box brownies
Christmas brownies are coming.
I'm doing the Christmas cookies on Saturday. Oh, it's dozens and dozens and dozens all day long.
Especially sugar cookies. Like
No, I actually don't make any sugar cookies. I make anise cookies. That's the Italian tradition. Oh, they're so good. And Italian tricolor cookies, the flag cookies with the 3 colors with the chocolate around them.
Actually, my goal in life is I'm doing all of this because I do intend to run for office at some point. And when I become president...
Is that news? Are we breaking news?
Oh, yes. So at some point, I will use all power I've acquired to run for office. And once president, I will usurp constitutional authority.
I like that you're just running for president. You're just...
Well, of course, because first I have to be president, then I can usurp all constitutional authority and make myself supreme chancellor so that I can make anise, fennel, cilantro, caraway.
Burn it.
Yeah.
Burn it all. My favorite. Burn it all. Terrible.
Me sucks.
Libby's gonna lead the army.
Yes.
She's gonna be wearing like.
I'm gonna get everyone to sign up for the draft based on that.
Is there anyone with me that loves those things?
I don't like
No.
It's terrible.
Possession
It's
of
just me.
Horrible.
possession of cilantro is a capital offense.
I agree.
Capital.
I guess
I don't
belong
even like
here.
search and seizure laws don't even apply if they have even a whiff of it. They're like,
There's dogs.
open the trunk.
They open it and there's like a bunch of pot and I'm like, nah, it's fine. You're free to go. And then one guy's eating a taco. Get him! The dogs just jump on him.
I was driving through Southern California last week, and we were driving. It was dark, and it just reeked of weed. And then when we saw it in daylight the next day, it was like, so I was. This is gonna sound like I'm bragging, so I'm just gonna go for it. I was with Pete Hikes' motorcade, shutting down the 405 and going to check out autonomous weapons factories at the Reagan Library, the Reagan National Defense Forum. It was kind of cool. Anyway, then in daylight it was just fields of weed. It was like more weed than you could conceive of at once.
How California.
It was so California.
You know, I'm gonna send when I'm chancellor, there's gonna be two flamethrowers, and they're gonna walk through those fields with the flamethrowers off until they get to the cilantro, and then
just torch the cilantro.
Then you're gonna create a black market for cilantro that's gonna.
Yep. And if you're gonna ban anise, I can't vote for you.
Shotgun.
You don't. It doesn't. No, you don't get to vote. I'm gonna be supreme chancellor, right?
You don't get to vote.
Then you were gonna
That's right. Well,
power.
the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk about how great cilantro is, and I'm gonna be like, I will be the president. And then as soon as people vote for me, I'm gonna be like, haha, I'm gonna take the mask off, and then I'm going to ban. Anise is out. Have you ever had a Rocky?
It's anise.
Rocky? You mean like the Cretan from Crete? There's this like Crete moonshine called Rocky.
I think it's Turkish.
Whatever it is, it's nasty.
The drink?
It sort of tastes like black licorice. All of a sudden it burns.
Yep. I can't believe you don't know about it because you'll definitely want one. And I was in Turkey. So a Rocky is an alcoholic beverage made from twice distilled grape pumice and flavored with aniseed.
I don't drink.
I'll never have a Rocky. Rocky. And so I was in Turkey, and I was with the guys from Vice, and they were like, "You gotta have a Rocky, Tim, while you're in Turkey." And I was like, "What is it?" And they're like, "It's like licorice." And I said, "That's disgusting. Anise, and I will destroy it." And they're like, "No, you have to drink it." And it's very much like when the guys who own the company are saying, "Drink it," you're like, "All right, I'll drink it." It is disgusting.
They made me drink it too. My uncle and my aunt, they were like, "You have to have this in Crete."
Oh.
I did not like it. I bet it's delicious.
All right. We're gonna go to your Rumble rants and super chats, my friends. So smash the like button, share the show with everyone you know. We're gonna be over at rumble.com/TimCastIRL at 10 for the uncensored portion of the show. But for
I'm
now,
a chef.
we got a great
And
sponsor
these
for you.
sucks.
This is Frontline 21.
I don't like using
All right,
it.
man, let's get real for
I
a
don't
second.
really want to use it.
There's lots of noise about out there about masculinity. You've got some screaming. Maybe I should deepen my voice for this. You've got some screaming that masculinity is toxic. The other side is pushing a version of manhood that's all about ego, domination, and pride. Both of those are wrong. That's not strength. That's confusion. Frontline 21 is a 21-day challenge for men, designed to help guys rebuild discipline, leadership, and integrity in a world that's trying to tear those things down. It's not therapy. It's not politics.
Let's do it again.
Personal responsibility.
Let's get another shotgun,
Society's tried to label all strength as toxic, and the result is a generation of disconnected, directionless men. Frontline 21 was built to remind men that real masculinity isn't toxic, it's necessary. The 21-day format works because it's simple and measurable. No lectures, no endless content, just real action, one step every day. It builds confidence through
9. I need my
consistency.
medicine.
Men start seeing results quickly, and it's free. Anyone can
It's
start
at 5
right now
o'clock.
at
Free crack giveaway.
frontline21.com. Go to frontline21.com, download your free field guide, and join thousands of men taking the 21-day challenge. And now let's get back to your Rumble rants and super chats as my voice just naturally squeaks a little bit higher.
We should pitch shift your voice and just put it back to normal when you were doing that promo.
I don't talk like this. You need to be a man. All right. Change Wilder says, "Hey Tim, is the new Christmas song also going to be on Spotify or direct MP3/FLAC download for those of us who don't use Apple Music?" I'm going to go ahead and assume the answer is yes. Carter is he would know better than I, but it should be on every platform. And this is Silent Night, a new song. TrashHouseChristmas.com. Maybe it's wait. Oh, there we go. We got it. Alex Bianca Silent Night single.
I'm gonna grab the
available if you
screws
go to the
now.
website. It's on Apple Music. I think you can just go to any platform and probably find this and check it out. We're working with new artists with Trash House Records, our record label. Very excited. But let's grab your rants and chats. We'll continue. James Smith.
Caught up on
They
the
should file a
box.
defamation lawsuit against Candace Owens. I'm willing to bet that will happen. I think it will happen.
Candace is fucked.
Yeah. Black Hills Ranch says, "I'm not mad at Tim. I'm a supporter, just a simple rancher. Isaiah 118, come now. Let us reason together, says the Lord. With that, I accept your debate challenge. How would you like to proceed?" Are you saying my debate about the limits of God? I don't know how I would ever have that debate. We did a debate on this a couple times already, and the issue is it's literally just what do you believe? And so, if you believe that God is the Logos, I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm saying I don't believe it. The question is, it's not so much a debate, but you trying to convince me that I am wrong, but I don't think you can. I don't think I can convince you are wrong either, because we both just simply believe different things about God.
Usually in those debates, it's not about convincing you, right? It's about convincing somebody who might be wrong.
Indeed. You ever see that? You ever see that movie? It's Thank You for Smoking. Yeah. That really great scene where it's what's his face? Who's the actor? Aaron Eckhart. And he's with his son, and he's like, because he's a smoking PR guy or whatever, and then he's teaching his kid how to win a debate, and he says, let's say we're debating ice cream, and you love chocolate, and I love vanilla. So someone asks you, you like chocolate, what do you say? He says, chocolate is the best. And then he responds, like, oh, so you think chocolate is the end-all be-all, chocolate's the best? And he goes, yes, I do. And he says, then he goes, well, I believe in freedom, in liberty, and I think we should should have choices. And I think if people want vanilla or chocolate, and then the kid goes, but that's not what we're talking about. He goes, no, we're not talking about it. And then the kid's like, but you didn't argue that vanilla's better. Like, I don't have to. All I have to do is argue that you are wrong. And then the kid says, but that's not convincing me, because I'm not trying to convince you, I'm trying to convince them. Yeah, that's how you think. And then the scene the whole eating vanilla. That's a great movie. All right, let's see. Brett Zeppelin says, Brett Dassifik is way sexier than Brett Cooper. I'm a chick, it's okay, Brett. Actually, I think I can pull this up. It's really funny. I was losing it this morning because of how funny it was. Let me see if, yeah, here we go. I think I can get it. Let's see. I was actually thinking about doing a video for my @TimPool channel, but I was just didn't have time. I wrote list the staff of Timcast. It says Timcast, founded and operated by Tim Pool, is a media company focused on podcasts like Timcast IRL, cultural podcasts based on available sources. The board includes host producers and key operational roles, but the Timcast is a small independent operation, so the team is not exhaustive and may evolve. Here's a compiled list of confirmed staff members. Tim Pool, founder, CEO, and host. Host, co-host, regular. Ian Crosby. Brett Cooper, Pop Culture Crisis.
I'll take it.
Raymond G. Stanley Jr., Alad Eliyahu. Serge Dupria, Serge.com. Cassandra Fairbanks. Charles, last name not specified.
See, but that's real power. If they don't know your last name, they can't get to you.
Yup. And then I said, wow, Dr. Phil is on Timcast? No, the famous Dr. Phil McGraw isn't a regular on Timcast, though he's been referenced in episodes, like when Tim Pool's team discussed Dr. Phil calling out child trafficking issues, or a policy that say he does have a co-host named Phil, who's appeared frequently on Timcast IRL, along with Tim Pool, Ian Crossland, and others. He's been in episodes, blah, blah, blah. I said, Dr. Phil is Phil McGraw. He's correct. Dr. Phil is indeed Philip Calvin McGraw. Blah, 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 blah. And I said, and Phil McGraw is on Timcast. No, Phil McGraw is not a host, co-host. And I said, Brett Cooper is on Timcast. It's amazing. Yes, Brett Cooper is indeed a regular co-host on Timcast IRL, and it's been an awesome addition to the lineup. She's popped up on episodes throughout 2025, bringing her sharp takes on pop culture, Gen Z trends, and conservative commentary to the mix alongside Tim Pool, Phil, and others like Raymond or Ian. It's the pop culture crisis. Listen to this. For instance, in a recent December 2025 episode, Tim, Phil, Brett, and Raymond teamed up with guest Naomi Seif to break down the J6 pipe bomber arrest, why young folks are ditching America for socialism vibes, and even the wild story of people trolling Tim Walz's house. Another one from late 2025 had her joining Tim, Phil, and Tate with the Raw and Nationalist to host viral drunk raccoon memes, and some hilarious, unhinged WNBA betting scandals. She's not full-time staff. And I said, so cool she could be in West Virginia every night while living in Nashville.
I don't know what's better. Does that mean that I'm a handsome woman, or that I look young for my age?
I said, she must have a private jet for that. Pop Culture Crisis also filmed in West Virginia. No private jet needed. and then it says heliport for her Timcast IRL spots. It's 100% remote. It said, these days, the...
Okay, why should you get one of these? I mean, apart from having over 21,000 views, then 23.
After leaving the Daily Wire's comment section, it said that she was on the show, her old gig from 21 and 24, co-hosted with Mary Morgan under Timcast Media, was actually filmed in Frederick, Maryland, specifically the Castle. This is crazy.
History is cooked, man. People are going to read this stuff and think all of it's true.
I wrote this. Oh, yeah, I remember that. It was after she and Mary got into that fight over who got to feed the chickens in Chicken City. Haha, okay, I see what you're doing here, blah, blah, you get the point. Dude, Grok was not ready to go. The whole thing, it's like, yes, Brett Cooper is on Timcast IRL. And then even when I said we don't, it's like, how does she get here? It's like, she does remote. I said, Timcast has never had remote guests. And it's like, you're right. Then how did she get here? And it's like, it's easy because it's only twice a week. It's just making things up.
Can we talk about how AI is introduced into the public education system at a dramatic pace? And this, I mean, look at this. You're an adult. You're trying to fight with it. You're not getting accurate information.
And teachers are creating assignments with ChatGPT, and then the students are doing the assignment with ChatGPT, and then the teachers are grading the assignment with ChatGPT.
Well,
so basically, both are just sitting there staring at the wall, drooling like zombies.
My son's English.
Go put our gear away.
Had them do an essay, and he required that it be turned in. Thank you, teacher. Like I was like,
I have a solution for that. So how old is your son? Okay, I don't know if you want to say. I was going to, but okay. So if you're listening, write the report through ChatGPT, and then go to Home Depot and go trabajo, and then hold it up.
No. He wrote it out. He did a good job.
Oh, okay. I can't write.
Yeah, his was hard to read. We had to work through it.
We had this really funny thing happen at skate night.
Because they stopped teaching kids how to write also, like by hand.
So I don't ever write anything, and because I'm on a computer the whole time, all the time. And we had this funny thing happened at our skate night contest last time where my wife is like, can you handle the checks? And I was like, yeah, it's fine. I'll get Cody to do it, because my handwriting is miserable. I have a brain thing where when I write, I mix between uppercase and lowercase like SpongeBob. The SpongeBob meme. And
I thought it was just that men did that.
Maybe. Okay. And so the funny thing is, so what ends up happening is we do the event and then we got to pay out for the prizes and stuff. And I'm like, hey, Cody, all right, I'm going to tell you what to write because you got better handwriting than me. He's like, okay. And then neither of us actually knew how to properly write the check. So we did them wrong. And then when my wife showed up, she was like, what are you doing? And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, we're writing checks. She went, oh my God. And she grabbed them and she wrote void and then ripped them.
Are you a product of the public school system?
No.
Who didn't teach you to write a check?
I haven't. It's because I haven't written I've never written a business check, and so there's slight things you have to do on it, the way you write it out, so they can't be manipulated after the fact, and then the receipt stuff you have to write.
Okay.
So neither of us knew how to do that. More importantly, I can't write. You know what I mean? But don't worry, I did go to public school for a few years, and then I dropped out of high school when I was 14.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't have a high school diploma?
No. Yeah, intentionally.
Amazing. No GED, no interest in. Amazing. Did you know this?
I did know this.
Huh.
Yeah, it is a waste of time. But the thing is,
I wasted so much time in education. Apparently,
I got my high school diploma only because I was the first in my family. No one else had, and so they were like, "You were going to be the first. You were going to do it." But what did I need it for? I only needed it so that I could apply to college.
Let's go loot. Why wouldn't you want to go fuck a pig in the middle of Times Square? Oh, you don't want to fucking have a black woman. That's the only reason why Charlie didn't pick her. She was black. Same thing, I wouldn't pick her. grab some SWAT boots. Mod these after I come back. I want to go loot this shit and be done with it. Whoa, he's standing up. The fuck?
Dog, get the fuck away. Mod these down here. That was a fucking nice haul. Look at that.
a lot. Oh, draw. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh. Nice. Give me that gas. Okay. That's what? On the 4th floor. I think. That's the 3rd floor. falling asleep over here. Oh, shit balls, man. There's the way. Stompers. I gotta put those away. I don't know why those are on. Alright, I'm like falling asleep here. Okay. Alright, everybody. Thanks for watching. We did 3 hours, 15 minutes. Earlier I did like, I don't know if it was like 6 hours. But we took care of a bunch of shit and grinded a bunch of stuff. So I'm gonna go and grind this tomorrow morning. Or I'm gonna crash out here in a little bit. Probably like about an hour. Maybe less. Yeah, I'm gonna put on a movie and then crash out. So I get up at like 6:30. So I think I was up at 6:30, 7 o'clock today. So it was like, yeah, it was like 6:30, 7:40. It was like 6:45, something like that. So I was like, nah. I just want to sleep, man. Let me sleep. And so, did I miss anything today? I was fucking here almost of the day. Okay, so, yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be here in the morning and do a morning grind. Yeah, we'll come down here and play that game again with the big one. So we'll just, yeah. I'm gonna walk here, conserve some energy. And yeah, we're gonna come back here tomorrow, and we'll be popping back and forth from here. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. We gotta try to. I need to go up here and get more sand. So I'm gonna take like 4 shovels with me. So we're gonna have to go. So we're gonna have to go here, right? So we'll come here, and then we're gonna end up going back and forth like I did before, and that's like so cheap. So yeah, it's like going 10 to a map, 10 like 10 traveling to 10, like yeah, increments of 10. So yeah, we'll see what else we can get. Besides, I want to see how many slashers we can get. We can get like 4 or 5 slashers out of there. It'd be dope, because you get your, and maybe the dog will be all good. So while we're doing it, so because sometimes there's a doggy door up top. Sorry, dog can't be tired. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Hit like, subscribe, send me something if you want to send donations for like Christmas or something. Totally go for it. My Venmo is there. There's Cash App too. Up to you guys. I also have a spot fund. It's like Give, Stand, Go or whatever. So I'm trying to raise money. No one's donated. It's kind of hopeless, but I'm not giving up hope, because I can't give up on fighting for my kid. So it's shit that I don't like thinking about. Like this, if I lost my case, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Anyways, if you guys want to donate, that'd be cool. I had to talk to my daughter about like just gonna do Christmas 12 months a year, like at the beginning of the month. So we'll just do something special at the beginning of the month for Christmas. So it'll be Christmas like that, because it'll just be gifts on that day, because that's literally like, yeah. So I'm changing around what we're going to be doing, because it literally isn't working. So thanks for watching, everybody. Like I said, hit Venmo. There's Zelle. That's my first and last name at Yahoo. Yeah. Anyways, peace. 3 hours, 20 minutes.